And I took a couple days from streaming, to be honest. Over the weekend, I just chill. But Saturday was my birthday, and I figured I'd take a few days off to just, enjoy getting older, basically. But I'm back, and the reason why I called today's episode The Rabbit Hole is because we have a lot to digest. We have a rabbit hole to go down. There's been a lot of information that came out in the past couple of days since we last went live, and it's just very, very difficult to keep up with, I have to say. And it's nearing overwhelming status, to be honest. We got the Premier League, we got the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, all within like quick timing. Like it is so hard. Like we had Carabao Cup matches today and tomorrow. We just came from an FA Cup weekend, and in the middle of the week, we had like sometime in the week last week there was Premier League matches. You see what I'm saying? So how's one supposed to keep up with all this and still have, take care of the everyday life? It's near impossible, I'm telling you, man. So you have to be juggling things. You have to be making a lot of sacrifices. And sometimes you just have to just fall back and just observe and just chill. And when you're ready, you come back and you discuss the matters of, football. So today we're going to check out all the leagues that had football, all the leagues that we've been actually talking about. Premier League, the lower leagues, La Liga, the Serie A. I've been watching a few La Liga matches this season as well. Not the most exciting, I have to say. It's weird. Very, very weird, man. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but the Premier League is something a bit different. Watching La Liga, couple times it's put me to sleep, to be completely honest. You know what I mean? Even the Atletico Barcelona match, I fell asleep. It's crazy. Been tuning into some Serie A, watch all the highlights today and everything, of the last Serie A round of matches. There's Coppa Italia, there's Coppa there's so many things going on right now, man. So we're gonna take some time to catch up. So big up BX Gunner, big up Pacharo, everybody tuning in. If you're watching a replay, if you're live, do appreciate you coming through for yet another one, man. So big up to Trolley in the house. Pacharo saying, Dom, do you think Felix will change anything at Chelsea? We're gonna get to that, man. We're gonna get to that. So BX Gunner, yeah, I got Paramount Plus 2, and that's where I've been tuning into the Serie A. La Liga is actually on ESPN Plus. Premier League is on Peacock and USA, well, the NBC network. You have I think the Eredivisie is on ESPN Plus 2. Championship, League 1, League 2 is on ESPN Plus. I don't have the French league, I think, but I think there's a lot of football over on Paramount Plus too. So, I got most of the apps. I do. So, guys, let's start. Let's just warm things up. We're gonna warm things up. And what's your prediction for Saturday? We'll get there, man. We'll get to those games. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to those Premier League matches coming up. And that's what I was talking about, man. There's Carabao Cup games tomorrow that we actually have to talk about. There's actually a few more think there's Coppa Italia playing, right? There's so many things, man. And we're gonna get into that. So let's start with League 2. Let's warm up with League 2. So from the last time I was actually live, there's been a couple games in League 2. You see from January 2nd. So there's been one round. There's been round 26 in the lower leagues. So what I've been doing, guys, I've been taking a look at the lower leagues so that we keep, up to date with what's going on down below the Premier League. I'm not going deep. I just go through the scores, and if there's anything crazy happen, we talk about it, check the news, see if there's anything worthy to, talk about, and we keep it moving. So Salford City 2, Northampton Town 1, Leyton Orient 1, Doncaster United 0. You got Gillingham and Crewe Alexandra match postponed. Rochdale 1, Newport County 1, Mansfield Town 2. You have Barrow 3, thrilling match there. Harrogate Town 1, Colchester United 3. Tranmere 2, Sutton United 0. So that was that round of matches. And one of the later rounds, as you guys could see, 43 out of 46, that was played pretty early. And that's a 0-0 draw between Crew Alexandra and AFC Wimbledon. And to talk about Crew Alexandra really quick, right? I first heard of this club when I was a little boy in St. Vincent. And there's a player by the name of Rodney Chang Jack that actually played for Crew Alexandra. And I was looking through a graphic the other day about the most expensive signing by every club in the football EFL, including Premier League all the way down to League Two. And Rodney Chang Jack was actually the most expensive signing ever made by Crew Alexandra, which is actually nuts, you know. So to have somebody from St. Vincent being that player, that's pretty crazy, you know. So yeah, went down a little Crew Alexandra rabbit hole there. He had a 2-1 win for Rochdale over Bradford City. That was today. And the next set of matches are coming up on the 14th. Let's just check the news, see if we see anything that's worthy to talk about. It will be right here. And, well, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Ethan Galbraith helped Salford City to first league home win since August. Wow. That's a long time to wait for a win, man. First league home win since August. So give it up to Ethan Galbraith. So let me see. He transferred Crew. Arsenal Loney, impressive record lauded. So that's something that you could probably go into, but we're not going to get into that right about now. But we were just talking about Crew Alexandra, and there's an Arsenal Loney doing well there, and looks like he's a goalkeeper. So how Crawley crumbled on the owners' reckless leadership. Crawley Town, a little bit of, Crawley Town SAP manager Matthew Etherington after 32 days. Yeah, we did talk about that a few weeks ago, though. So this is the standing. Leyton Orient, they're out on top, and they're looking like they're about to get promoted up to League One. Stevenage, who did just beat Aston Villa in the FA Cup 2-1. That was crazy because I was following that match while the Man City-Chelsea game was going on. Aston Villa were leading, and then Stevenage came back and won that match late. So give it up to Stevenage, man, of League Two, who beat Unai Emery's Aston Villa in the FA Cup. Northampton Town, third. Carlisle, fourth. And look at the gap, guys. 39 points for the fourth place team. And look at Stevenage and Leyton Orient. So it's fair to say that Leyton Orient, they won't be caught. They won't be caught by these teams down here. Northampton Town could catch up, but I think a couple teams get promoted. We did go through it, but I can't remember exactly how many teams go. I think it's 4 teams go up, and a few of them might be directly. So I think there's like 3 direct places that go up. So if I'm not mistaken, but don't want to get too deep into that right about now. But down at the bottom, Gillingham, man, they struggling. Gillingham is struggling. They're gonna drop into what is that? The National League, the league below the EFL, if I'm not mistaken. So Hartlepool, they're struggling. Rochdale, Crawley Town, Colchester, Harrogate, Newport County, Crew Alexandra, Grimsby Town, and you got Stockport in the middle there. Sutton team probably recently came up, looking all good. So that's what League Two is looking like, and just warming things up, checking out the lower leagues. Big up everybody in the house, man. Do appreciate you guys. We're back. We're back with the live streams, man. I've been taking it easy so far in 2023. 10 days done, and I haven't really done a whole lot of content. But guys, football ain't going nowhere. YouTube ain't going nowhere. But in life, I got things to take care of, so I can't really I'm not like these guys out here who only do YouTube. You see what I'm saying? I have a whole job. I have a whole 9 to 5, but I do work from 5 to 1. So I have a whole job. I have kids. I have 3 kids. I have a wife, I got a lot of responsibilities, so sometimes you just have to put the YouTube thing aside until like when a tournament comes up, then you have to jump into the tournament and do a lot of sacrificing. But in terms of like right now, you got to get your house in order. You got to take care of things, and you know, whenever you have some time, you do your little YouTube thing. You talk about your football, because I got off of work today and I've been sleeping like a little since about halftime in that Newcastle Leicester game. So I was watching the game and I fell asleep at halftime, and I just woke up like an hour ago. You see what I'm saying? So I was tired. Today was my day off, and I actually went to work today. So got to make that little extra money. You know what I mean? So we touch on League One. We got Cambridge 1, Bristol Rovers 2, Charlton 2, Lincoln City 1. You got a couple more games here. Bolton 0, Plymouth Argyle 0. You had Morecambe 2, Cheltenham Town 1. And that's just a quick, roundup there. A few games in League One. The matches come back this Saturday, January 14th. There was a lot of FA Cup ties as well. So that's why they had more matches played in League Two than League One, because most of the League Two teams got knocked out of the FA Cup already anyways. So Plymouth Argyle, they lead in the charge at 57 points. So that was a good draw there for Bolton, right? Sheffield Wednesday, 52 points. You got Ipswich Town, 50 points. And there's a 9-point gap between Ipswich and Derby, with Bolton as well up there looking to get promoted. Table followed by Barnsley, Wickham, Bristol Rovers, Peterborough, Port Vale, Exeter, Charlton, Portsmouth, Fleetwood. You could see it's very close, guys. It's very close in these lower leagues. Got Oxford just played Arsenal the other day. And you go down towards the bottom there. Now I want to call out all the names of the teams, but Forest Green, MK Dons, Burton, Accrington, Stanley, all struggling. Cambridge United, Morecambe. So anything in the news? Well, League One Charlton aimed for a huge upset. Well, it didn't happen, guys. It did not happen despite off-pitch uncertainty. So that club's probably going through some things right now. And Charlton Athletic, a club stuck in a continually chaotic cycle. So that is something that, might come to the surface a bit more, and more people might be talking about this. But we're not going to go deep into that right about now. We have so many things to actually catch up with that I'm not really planning to go deep into any one of these lower league things right about now, man. Just want to, bring it to your attention. And yeah. So you got nothing really else to talk about, but yeah, football fan finds clever way to get girls' phone number despite supporting a rival team. Okay, all right. But big up everybody in the house, man. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button for the live stream. It's 2023, fresh year. I hope you guys set your goals, and I hope you do work on them this year and you achieve your goals. I have a few goals of my own that I'm going to work on silently. I didn't make a list, but I should have. I don't really have any big goals on the channel, really. I'm just going to go with the flow, basically. You know what I mean? So, guys, with that being said, let's go down to the championship. Let's do a quick catch-up to the English championship. See what's going on down there. Let's see if we had any games. We didn't have any games since we were live the last time. So let's just take a look at the table, see what the table's looking like. Burnley, 56 points, and they're looking poised to actually get promoted back to the Premier League. Sheffield United on the Paul Heckingbottom, they're doing well, 51 points, and there's a 9-point gap between them and Blackburn Rovers, 42 points. Well, the first two teams get promoted automatically, while 3rd to 6th go into the playoffs, so Blackburn Rovers, Watford, Middlesbrough, and Millwall are all in that position, while Luton Town are right behind, Sunderland, West Brom, all these teams. Preston are looking good, and there's Norwich, QPR, Reading not far behind. So championship is very close. You lose a couple games, you drop down from fifth to all the way down to 17th in a heartbeat. That's just how the championship is. So you see teams like Swansea not in a good position. Hull, teams that were in the Premier League within the last decade, they're not really doing that well. Stoke City, you could remember. Cardiff, and even Huddersfield. But Wigan, they're struggling, but they're not, they could pick up a couple wins and they'll be right off the bottom there. And remember, Colo Torre is in charge of Wigan Athletic these days. You got to be careful not to get the sack. So the managers get sacked a lot in the championship, man. Can't keep up with that. Talk about managers, guys. Norwich City appointed David Wagner, their manager. So former Schalke, former Huddersfield Town man. He's now the new manager of Norwich City. And we did go through all the managers in the championship in one of our episodes. But you can't keep up with it, man. You really can't keep up with it at all. So Brandon Thomas Asante set for a retrospective 3-match ban after Chesterfield incident. Not really going to look into that, but clubs preparing permanent bids for Leeds, Charlie Cresswell. Yeah, Leeds got some really good youngsters there, though. So, yeah, 3 center-backs. Watford should consider amid recent Courtney Howe's development. Okay. All right. So, these are the leading goal scorers down in the championship. Chuba Akpom, Victor Gaio Keres, Oscar Estupinian, Carlton Morris, Zian Fleming, all doing well. Iliman Ndaye, most creative player, along with Ryan Giles. So, guys, that's the roundup of the championship. What we're going to do, we're going to jump into how the Premier League looks right about now. So, big up to BX Gunner, who says Roberto Martinez won the FA Cup with Wigan. Yep. And he's been in the news. Just actually got appointed the manager of the Portugal national team. And that's something we actually going to take a look at as well. We will, jump on that. Well, we got a lot of things to talk about, though. Definitely. Got a lot of things to catch up with. Indeed. So, guys, let's just take a look at the Premier League and see what's going on. So let's just take a look at the Premier League. I think since I went live the last time, we haven't had any Premier League matches. So just a quick roundup of what's going on in terms of the Premier League right now and do a quick look into what's coming up this weekend. So in the last round of the Premier League, Brentford defeated Liverpool there, 3-1. Monday, January 2nd. You had Fulham beating Leicester 1-0. Arsenal and Newcastle playing to a 0-0 draw. Brighton beating Everton 4-1. Man United 3, Bournemouth 0. Nottingham Forest 1, Southampton 0. And I did talk up Nottingham Forest a lot just before this game, and they went on to win. I did put some faith in Nottingham Forest and said they could actually start picking up some wins. And this is a team that I actually picked to survive the drop this season. I had them coming in 13th. So they might actually prove me right, despite the very tough start to life back in the Premier League. Leeds 2, West Ham 2, Aston Villa 1, Wolves 1. You had Crystal Palace 0, Tottenham 4, and Man City 1, Chelsea 0. It's too easy, man. It's too easy. You know what I'm saying? We just keep bullying Chelsea. But I did put out a tweet and I said, yeah, we beat Chelsea in the league. We beat them in the Carabao Cup. We beat them in the FA Cup, right? Already this season. Man, we let Chelsea win the most important game that we've played recently, and that's a Champions League final. You see what I mean? So I'm still pretty much pissed off, but at least we've been smashing them since then. I think there's been about 4 to 5 games since the Champions League final, and Chelsea has not scored a single goal against City. It is ridiculous. They've been conceding goals and they haven't been scoring any at all. And that's why I said Chelsea is somewhat in free fall. And we're going to talk a bit about Chelsea, right? We're going to talk about Liverpool. We're going to talk about City. We're going to talk about Arsenal. And since we're on the Premier League right now, we're gonna make it hot. You see what I'm saying? Fulham play Chelsea in their next game. But let's take a look at Chelsea, right? Let's take a look at Chelsea. Wanna touch on this Chelsea topic, right? And Tuchel. Let's go back to when Tuchel was actually sacked. We have to go all the way back to when they lost the Dinamo Zagreb, right? I think that's when he was sacked, right here. So let's take a look at this game. Dinamo Zagreb 1, Chelsea 0. Mislav Orsic, who has now been transferred from Dinamo Zagreb to Southampton, the scorer of the only goal in that game. So give it up to Mislav Orsic. He's been impressive. He earned himself a bigger payday. You see what I'm saying? So this was Tuchel's last game, if I'm not mistaken. You take a look at the lineup, right? Aubameyang. I think this was his first Champions League game for Chelsea. Yeah, it got to be. That was the first game this season. But Aubameyang was a Thomas Tuchel signing, if you get what I'm saying. Raheem Sterling, Thomas Tuchel signing, right? Wesley Fofana, another one. Kalidou Koulibaly, another one. You had Kepa in goal because, of course, Champions League, I think they switched. Did Mendy get injured yet? I think Mendy had got injured. Something like that. You go down to the bench, you see Armando Broja brought back. That's Thomas Tuchel's decision. Conor Gallagher back. That's Thomas Tuchel's decision as well. Marco Corella, Chuck Carney, Chuck Womeka. These are all Tuchel signings, guys, right? See, Thomas Tuchel, the manager. And if we go to the next Chelsea game, Chelsea versus Salzburg, and you go down, who is the manager? Look at this. Look at this. Graham Potter. You see that? Graham Potter. So Potter's been in charge since September the 14th, right? And Potter came in, switch up the team, did things his way, but it was not his team. You see what I mean? He inherited this team from Thomas Tuchel. So even amid Chelsea's battering against Man City in the last game there in the FA Cup, Pep Guardiola called for Chelsea to give Graham Potter more time. And I believe, and I think he deserves more time. It would be really crazy to sack a manager mid-season after he inherited a team that he did not put together. You see what I mean? And a lot of the signings that we see from Chelsea, even in this window, it looks like these are not even Potter signings. These look like signings made by the club themselves. You know what I mean? The club itself, just going out looking for these talented youngsters and bringing them in. The Joao Felix signing might actually be a Potter signing, or maybe a Chelsea signing, a marketing move. That could be the case. That could definitely be the case there. And we'll get to the Joao Felix signing. We'll get to that. But we just want to run down the fixtures and the performances by Chelsea since Potter came in. And we take a look here. He came in and he pulled things back. 1-1 against Salzburg. He did beat Crystal Palace. He beat Milan. So you see, that new manager bounced, the honeymoon period. It was sweet. You know what I mean? Chelsea fans were starting to believe that, okay, Potter is really a great appointment here. 3-0 against Wolves, 2-0 against Milan. So right there in his first 5 games, he had 4 wins and a draw. 5 games, no losses, right? 6 games, no losses. 2-0 against Aston Villa. 7 games, another draw, no losses. He's not done well against Brentford, right? But still, 7 games, no losses. Let's not forget this. So when people want to go and criticize Potter and jump and say things or whatnot, 7 games, no losses. 8 games, no losses. 9 games, no losses. You see that? You see what's going on here. When did this free fall started? This free fall, ironically, started when Potter went back to Brighton. I don't know what that did to Graham Potter. I really don't know. But ever since he went back to Brighton, Let's count again. Let's count again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, 9 games unbeaten in his freshly appointed first 9 games as Chelsea manager. No losses. People are saying, God damn, what an appointment. Coming up towards the World Cup, 4-1 loss to Brighton, his old club. Ironically, right? Did get the revenge over Dinamo Zagreb 2-1, but lost to Arsenal, London Derby. Lost to Man City in the third round there of the EFL Cup. Out of the cup, something that, okay, maybe if Chelsea not going to win the league, yeah, maybe they could win the cup. No, out of the cup just before the World Cup. And talking about World Cup, they lost to Newcastle. So after playing 9 games without losing, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4 games out of 5. And not any draws. 4 games out of 5 before the World Cup. Free fall just before the World Cup. So Potter had a lot of time during that World Cup break to think about his plan, how to assess things and come back harder, better, stronger after that little slump. So you could say his first 14 matches for Chelsea, he only lost 4 games, which is great. That's a great record. But it could have been better if a couple draws were picked up in these matches against Arsenal, City, Newcastle, and Brighton. Let's talk what happened after the World Cup. We go down, and we get to December 27th. Came back with a bang. It was said that during vacation, while the World Cup was going on, Graham Potter said all he could think about was Chelsea. Not even his wife, but Chelsea. You see what I mean? Chelsea. So he was thinking about this really, really hard. I think I'm hearing some noises outside, like my son came downstairs and I told my wife to lock the door. So don't know what's going on there. Don't want no interruptions in the stream because we on a roll right now, right? We on a roll talking about Chelsea. We dissecting this, taking our time, breaking it down. Started things off well against Bournemouth, 2-0. 1-1 against Forest. That was a disappointing result. They should have won that game, but didn't play well. I remember the first half, they were good, but the second half, I don't know what happened, man. But give it up to Steve Cooper and Nottingham Forest. Indeed. Let me lock my door because I don't want my son to come in here. All right, we're safe. So, so yeah. So 2-0, 1-1, not bad results. Good start after the World Cup. So that's 7 games. That's 2 wins, 4 losses, and a draw. And then you scroll down a bit. Lost twice to Man City. So when you really look at it, right? When you really look at it, they're in somewhat free fall by losing 6 out of their last, 9 games? Right? They won 2 and drew 1. They lost 6 out of 9. You get in the drift right now. They lost 6 out of 9. But if you take away the 2 losses, the 3, not 2, but if you take away the 3 losses against Man City, it's not so bad. Think about it, guys. Take away the 3 losses against Man City, it is not so bad. Big up to Value in the house. How you doing? Appreciate you coming through. Thanks for remaining a member of the channel. Take away those losses against Manchester City, it is not too bad. You got to blame Man City for this. Chelsea They're in free fall because of Man City. Blame Pep. Blame Pep. 3 games, 3 wins. And it made Potter's tenure look way worse than it has been. Think about it. Big up to Ilias Abs in the house. It's made Pot. I'm getting really hot in here. I don't know. This is supposed to be winter time. And for some reason, this has been a very warm winter. But guys, big up everybody. Make sure y'all smash up the thumbs up button for the stream. Do appreciate you guys coming in here to check your boy out. But we're breaking down Chelsea, right? We're breaking them down. Let's take a look at this game. I have not talked about this game yet. Man City 4, Chelsea 0. But they were outplayed. They didn't look good. That's the thing. Even though 3 out of 6 losses that Potter, picked up since he's been in charge of Chelsea has been against Man City, they look really bad during the losses. And, of course, the draw against Forest, right? They have not looked good. So that's where the concern is. And there's been a lot of injuries at Chelsea as well. So maybe we could say that they're not at full strength. Maybe we could say Potter's still finding his feet. He still does not know his best 11. But I think it will be very harsh to call for him to get sacked. Very, very unfair, in my opinion, because we know how good Graham Potter is, and he needed some time at Brighton before they started to adapt his philosophy and started to play some really good and attractive football. Best season last year for Brighton ever. And they're already looking to replicate that or better that this season under both Graham Potter and Roberto De Zerbi, who's inherited a very quality team. So unlike Graham Potter, who inherited a team from Thomas Tuchel, who, he has to mold and shape to his liking, for Roberto De Zerbi, he don't have to do much. You see what I'm saying? You really don't, because that Brighton setup is pretty nice and they have a good recruitment system. But Mahrez, 23rd minute, god damn, that free kick was out of this world, man. Out of this world. Julian Alvarez with the penalty, very well taken, even though Kepa did get a touch to it. That Phil Foden goal was extraterrestrial as well. Great team goal. The way we played, Man City are miles ahead of Chelsea right about now, but Chelsea still got that upper hand over us, regardless to how many times we beat them. They won our most important game in our history, and that's the Champions League final. So I'm still not pleased. We could beat them all we want. We let the Champions League slip against Chelsea. That was one of my darkest days, man. Seriously. I actually felt like someone died, like a family member died. I woke up at maybe 4 a.m. to go to work, and I could remember I felt like shit. I literally felt like shit, man. I was like, felt like somebody really died, man. You see what I mean? Probably felt worse. I know, but it probably felt worse than that. You see what I mean? I don't know, man. It didn't feel good. Lost the Champions League final. But the main focus right now is not Man City. We'll talk about the Man City Arsenal thing just now. It's Chelsea. And they're in a free fall right now, but Man City are partially to blame because in the last 6 losses, City are responsible for 3 of them. Let us say Chelsea had played somebody else, some other team. Those 3 games, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Premier League match, let's say they had played another team and they had not lost any of those 3 games. During Potter's entire Chelsea tenure so far, he would have only lost 3 matches, right? You would have to go back the 9 unbeaten, the 5 before the World Cup where he lost 4, City loss included, and after the World Cup, let's go back a bit and see how many games played after the World Cup so far. There's been how many games after the World Cup? There's been 4 games after the World Cup, and Chelsea's only won 1. So it would have looked a lot better. So it ain't too bad. Even though they're in free fall, they're not doing well. It ain't as bad as people make it out to be. If we check the standings, you go down, Chelsea at 10th, 25 points, right? But look at where 6th are. 6th are only 3 points. 3 points ahead. So Chelsea can easily go on a 5-match run, unbeaten 5-match run, and go all the way back up to 6. They'll be behind Tottenham still because Tottenham, got a little distance ahead of Liverpool. But it's not a lost cause. You just have to rein things in, do what you got to do, and Chelsea could be up amongst the big boys again, looking to qualify for the Champions League. The season ain't over. The season is still salvageable, in my opinion, but the free fall has to stop. How is Graham Potter going to do it? If we go back, if we go right back to this game, let's go back to the game against City. He can't do it like this, though. Let's make it clear. This team right here ain't going to do it. These youngsters ain't going to do it, man. I know there's some promising youngsters coming through at Chelsea. Guys like Omari Hutchinson and Lewis Hall and, the Humphreys kid. Yeah, I know. But these guys not going to do it for you. And these signings as well, we could talk about the signings. I don't think these signings are what's going to do it for Chelsea either. Because David Dacho Fofana, he came on against City and he hardly had anything to do. I don't think this was the right game to play this guy. This was not the right game because he didn't do anything. You see what I mean? Chukwuemeka's, he's look good. Omari Hutchinson is a promising player. They do have some promising player, but promise is not going to get you far right now. You know what I'm saying? You need guarantees. And when you look at this team looks like it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. Because Potter does not know his best team. If you want to decide to play Koulibaly and Thiago Silva at the back in every game, those players are in their 30s. One in the higher 30s, one in the lower 30s, and they cannot sustain that. You see what I mean? Jorginho, to be honest, his numbers could look good. And I think this could be like a false positive in a way. There's a few players that fits that whole false positive mold, in my opinion. Big up to Albert, big up Elijah, big up King Huddle. Everybody make sure y'all smash up the thumbs up button. There's some players that fit that false positive. They give you that positive sense of, they make you feel good, but they don't actually do anything at all. Jorginho, he's one of those players. Thiago Alcantara is one of those players. I know. Their numbers might look good in the game, but they actually do nothing. Jorginho take a couple penalties. He do nothing else, in my opinion. Nothing. Why you think he's not playing every game for Chelsea? He doesn't. I don't know what people see in Jorginho. You know what I mean? I really don't. But he's not going to be the man to make things happen for Chelsea. Graham Potter, he needs time. If they sack Potter and they bring in somebody else, it's not going to work. You have Aubameyang, he's not playing because I don't know what's going on. He's not a Graham Potter signing. Kai Havertz is not a number 9. It ain't going to work with Kai Havertz. Mason Mount, these days, very inconsistent. Hakim Ziyech does absolutely nothing at Chelsea. You got to keep it real. He does nothing. He really does nothing. Kovacic runs around a lot. Does a lot of hard work. Is it very effective? No. Conor Gallagher should have been sold. I think Chelsea bringing guys like Broja and Conor Gallagher back is very selfish, and they should have let those players go out and shine because they were shining when they were out on loan. Gallagher should have stayed at Palace. See what I'm saying? Christian Pulisic is a girl. I'm convinced. Christian Pulisic is a girl. And I heard a commentator. When I heard the commentators, I can't remember who's. I think it was Steve Nicol said every time Pulisic comes on, he gets tackled and he goes off. He gets hurt. And I don't understand why. I really don't understand why a man. You call yourself a man. You call yourself a man, and you get hurt so easily. Every single thing. Every touch hurts Christian Pulisic. Everything. He score a goal, he's hurt. He gets tackled, he's hurt. He's gone. Couple matches, he's missing. Come on, man. Bullshit. Big up to Marcel. Marcel, bro, it's true. It is true. It is true. Jorginho is a waste of time. Thiago is a waste of time. I'm going to keep it real. These guys are not effective. They false positives. They make you they're like a fake chain or fake watch. It looks good, but it's not real. You see what I mean? And I think Chelsea could do better. I think Liverpool could do better. And it's until these teams realize that these players are just there stealing for a living that their fortunes are gonna go up. Seriously, I'm gonna keep it real. Every time I'm gonna be on Thiago. Every time he's a waste. He has some very good games. I'm not gonna say he does not have some good games, but he does not have enough consistency. You see what I mean? He's very inconsistent as a player, and the same to Jorginho. Same type of players. Offer absolutely nothing. Both of them Brazilians too. So, well, Spanish, Brazilian, Italian, Brazilian, they both of them are useless. Thiago and Jorginho. I should put together the most useless 11. They're going to be in the midfield for sure. They look good. I'm not saying they don't look good. Thiago looks good, bam, 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 runs around, passing backwards and sideways. Tries to pass, push through a pass, nothing happens. Nothing at all. Nothing. King Huddle, Thiago is overhyped. He has not impacted Liverpool in any significant way. I've been saying this for years, bro. Years. And no one wants to agree with me. Everybody's coming at me. Everybody comes at me. But they're not going to realize that until there's the news in the summer that Thiago is actually leaving to go back to Spain, somewhere in Spain. You see what I mean? You guys would see what I'm talking. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about, man. You see exactly what I'm talking about. Marcel is saying Man City beat hopeless Chelsea. No, I'm not. This is Chelsea. I said it. I've been saying it. I don't feel happy about all over. I'm not overhyped, overjoyed about beating Chelsea. We've been beating Chelsea every single freaking season since every game since the Champions League loss. The Champions League loss is the loss that's really bothering me. That's the loss that's bothering me. Not this. Not these wins are like whatever. The Champions League loss bothers me big time. Still haunts me. Albert says Pulisic is just built different, man. I don't know, man. I really don't know what Pulisic is just. I don't know. He gets touch, he's gone. He doesn't get the game time. He's on the bench crying about game time. Play a role. You're an impact sub. Come off the bench, do your thing. You might not get injured. You might score a couple goals. Play a role. Every time you start, you don't do a goddamn thing. Pulisic be having the most chances, easy chances, miss them. And by the time he gets tackled, he's done. He's too soft, man. Seriously. Way too soft. Way too soft. My respect level for Pulisic is going down. For the USA, we can't argue that he's their best player. He does well. But sometimes he goes absent in games, but he does well for the USA. But at club level, just not good enough for Chelsea, man. Pulisic, and they got to make these tough decisions. You got to get rid of these guys. You have to get rid of these guys. You think these guys will last at Man City? No, they won't. No, they won't. And look, the next team that I'm going to talk about is Liverpool. But before we do go on to Liverpool, let's look at Chelsea and let's look at what they have coming up, right? Fulham versus Chelsea. Fulham are above Chelsea in the table right now, and Fulham are not playing any games. This is a London derby, and they want to win. But we know historically, Fulham's been a yo-yo club, but I think they've been very good this season under Marco Silva. They made some quality signings. Willian, João Paulinho. They brought in Andreas Pereira. And these guys have hit the ground running. They have Bert Leno in goal. They look good. Issa Diop at the back. They look good, man. They've made some quality signings. And this is a team where Marco Silva shaped this team with his own hands, like he's doing pottery. And I don't mean to be, no pun intended with grandpa and pottery or anything, but he shaped this team with his own hands. While for Graham Potter, he's inheriting a team from Thomas Tuchel that he himself needs to shape. And in helping to shape the team, he's bringing in Joao Felix. Chelsea signed Benoit Badiashile, Andre Santos from Vasco da Gama, and David Fofana from Molde. They might look to loan out Fofana. They might look to loan out Andre Santos as well. And Badiashile might stay at the club. But Joao Felix, let me say something about Joao Felix. Joao Felix is a flop. This might be controversial, but Joao Felix is a flop, and I think Joao Felix is going to actually flop at Chelsea too. Since his Benfica days, he's not done good enough. He's really not done well enough. So let's just do a quick search of Joao Felix. Joao, let's go. Joao Felix, Chelsea. Let's take a look at that. And let me see which one of these to actually click on. Let me see. I don't want to go too deep into no articles, but check news. And we see easy to see why clubs like Chelsea like Felix, but this loan deal just screams expensive. Joao Felix move will either hand Chelsea one of the world's best youngsters or an overhyped. I'm pretty sure that's what it's gonna say. Let's take a look at the Daily Mail article here. Sports Illustrated, Joao Felix in London to undergo Chelsea medical. But let me tell you this. Let me say this, right? Let me say this. Let's take a look at this. Let's make this bigger. Pete Jensen. Chelsea's move for Joao Felix mean they have either grabbed one of the best young players in the world, ruined by negative Diego Simeone, or a massive overrated sulk. But the 113 million pound man should play better under Graham Potter. Let us see. Let us see if Potter is actually going to make him better, bring out the best in Joao Felix, or it's going to be more of the same of what we saw at Atletico Madrid, where he showed glimpses of his brilliance, but overall he has been a massive, and I mean a massive, flop. Chelsea reached a verbal agreement to sign Atletico Madrid's Joao Felix on loan. Felix, who joined Atletico Madrid for 114 million in 2019, will sign until the end of the season. This is what I don't understand, right? Is this a Band-Aid type signing to say, okay, let's bring him in, see what he does, see if he helps the team, and if he does well, okay, then we're going to sign him permanently. And I don't think he's going to go for 100 million, but Atletico are going to want to recoup some of that money like they've been trying to. They're going to recoup in terms of the loan deal. The loan deal, I'm hearing, is a big loan deal in terms of the fee they have to pay for 6 months, which is absolutely ridiculous. So it says the Portuguese international has fallen out of favor with boss Diego Simeone. Supporters of Felix claim the manager has failed to develop the young star, but others claim the 23-year-old forward is simply a sulk in the dressing room. So, that's basically a summary of what's going on right there. And we're not going to actually go through the whole article there. But, in terms of Joao Felix and his record, let's go over the transfer marked and let's pull out Joao Felix and his record. We're gonna dissect this. We're gonna dissect Chelsea. Chelsea are not getting off the hook. Liverpool are not getting off the hook. We're going to talk Arsenal. We're going to talk Man City. So, Joao Felix, he's 23 years old these days. This season in La Liga, 14 appearances, 4 goals, 3 assists, not bad. Champions League, 5 appearances, no goals. You got UEFA Nations League, you got, Copa del Rey, 1 game, 1 goal. And we go down to his record here. Transfer record, Benfica to Atletico Madrid, 127 million euros. Look, we always knew he would go for a big fee, right? Because while at Benfica, man, this guy was a beast. I saw most of him in the Champions League, but in the Primera Liga, oh, man, he was good. So he came through the Porto under 15. He went to Benfica. And, of course, Benfica being the factory and the feeder club they are, sold him to Atletico Madrid of all clubs. And that was a big surprise to me and many people because I was like, Atletico? Why go to Atletico though? Even the player should have known that he should not have gone to Atletico because of their negative style of play, right? But okay, Atletico came in with the money. They were being very intentional and they were being direct, and they wanted to compete with Barcelona and Real Madrid, which they have done. He's won a title at Atletico Madrid, to be fair, but overall it's been underwhelming, right? That's fair to say. He was linked to Arsenal, as you guys see here, but Chelsea are the team. Man United he's been linked to, but Chelsea are the team that got him on loan. Let's take a look at his stats. All seasons, right? Let's go. All season stats. Last season, 24 matches, 8 goals, 4 assists. Not bad at all. Not bad. Not bad. But we were expecting something better from Joao Felix because look at this, right? In his 131 appearances at Atletico Madrid, he's only scored 34 goals and picked up 18 assists. Those numbers could have been better. Those numbers could have been a lot better. I'm not saying that Vinicius Jr. has better numbers during that same time, because if you go and maybe you check Vinicius Jr., the numbers are probably similar, but I think we expected a lot more from Joao Felix because of the kind of money that Atletico paid for him. You see what I mean? So let's not act like if there's been other players been lighting up the La Liga and Joao Felix does not have a lot of company, like guys like Ousmane Dembele. You see what I mean? But we expected better numbers from Joao Felix, to be completely fair. Because a lot of times he play in those central areas. And when you play in those areas, you got to score a lot of goals. But he plays for a very negative manager in a very defensive team. You see what I mean? So if we check his honors, he got a La Liga title. Let's check his where's his honors right there? Let's check his honors. You check his honors. He's won the La Liga, and that's about it since he went over there. The Benfica Portuguese champion, Nations League with Portugal. That's about it. But should have actually, done a lot better. Look at that. Four seasons he's been participating in the champion. 4 seasons is a lot for 30-something goals, bro. You know what I mean? It's been rather underwhelming, to be completely frank. So I like to take the time to big up everybody in the house. Appreciate you guys coming through to join the live stream. I haven't gone live for a while, but we does have some time, though. We does have some time. The thing right free mind, Vinicius just came and started playing well this season. Last season and this season. But before that, Vinicius was a flop. They had to call out Vinicius in order for him to really start playing well. And they've been calling out Joao Felix for some time, and he has not really stepped up. And I think it has a lot to do with the player's personality. Joao Felix has to really be a man. He has to be a man. When I look at Joao Felix, there is absolutely no fear in my heart. None. When I look at a player like Joao Felix, none. You see what I mean? He looks very timid, and he looks very, He doesn't look ferocious, if you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm basically trying to say he's of a similar ilk of a player like Christian Pulisic, more estrogen than testosterones. Let's just keep it 100. I know it's harsh, but let's just keep it 100. You see what I'm saying? Let's just keep it 100, man. You got to man up. You got to grow some balls and start scoring some fucking goals. That's what you're getting paid to do, to score goals. That's why Atletico paid all that money for you. Let's keep it real. Okay? And let me mention this number here, right? Over 344 million and counting. Chelsea's investment in new players under American owner Todd Bowley seems to have no limits this season. The latest target, Atletico Madrid's Joao Felix. According to a report by The Athletic, the 23-year-old Portuguese midfielder has already verbally agreed to a loan deal that would cost Chelsea around 11 million euros, which would bring him to the Premier League side, transfer spending to 355 million euros this season. And that's ridiculous if you ask me. 355 million spent and you're 10th in the table. You're not going to win the league. You're not going to win the FA Cup. You're not going to win the Carabao Cup. Are Chelsea going to win the Champions League? That's the only thing left to win. That is the only thing left for Chelsea to win this season. Are they going to win it? It is a possibility. Not going to count them out, but the way it's looking right now, it ain't going to happen. But you never know. You never know. We've seen weirder things. When Tuchel come in, won the Champions League. You see what I'm saying? No one expected that. But 11 million for 6 months is ridiculous and desperate. That is the perfect word, desperation. Ridiculous and desperate. Because look, man, if Man City if Manchester City spent 355 million in half a season, God, man, you won't hear the end of it. You'll hear about financial fair play. You hear about oil club. You're going to hear about buying out the league. I'm not seeing a similar narrative. The narrative is not here right now. I'm not hearing enough of that. You see what I mean? I'm not seeing these things being thrown around. It is ridiculous to spend so much money and not have a good team, not have an effective side. When Timo Werner was at the club, man, I called out Timo Werner, and Chelsea fans came out and defended Timo Werner like their life depended on it. You don't know what you're talking about. Timo Werner is very important player for Chelsea. Okay, he doesn't have a lot of goals, but you don't see the hard work he does. Man, Timo Werner was a waste, garbage signing. You see what I mean? Well, that's what it proved to be. But I like Timo Werner, you know what I mean? But he didn't do nothing at Chelsea. It was a garbage signing. 50 million, missed more goals than he scored, and he's back at Leipzig. He's back where he basically belongs, in the Bundesliga. You see what I mean? Premier League game for everybody. And I was proven right. Chelsea have been successful. They've won Premier Leagues, they've won Champions Leagues. But it seems as if they just throwing money at things and hoping for the best. Instead of saying, let's stick to one manager, let's give him some time, let's let him build a team, and then, all right, let's see what success that brings. Build something. It ain't that. It's just like, okay, if this not work, bye. Next. Okay, you not work, next. Since Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp was in charge of both their respective clubs, how many managers have Chelsea appointed? Think about it. You just think about it. You probably lost track already. You probably be like, God, okay, let me think about it. Man, I don't even know. I don't even, you probably miss a few. It is so ridiculous, you probably miss a few guys. You see what I mean? You probably be like, okay, guys, off the top of the head, right? Remember there was Mourinho, Goose Hiddink, Antonio Conte, Maurizio Sarri, Frank Lampard, Thomas Tuchel. You have and now Graham Potter. Did I miss anybody? That's 7 managers, since 2015, 16. That's 7 managers, guys. That's 7. For a big club that aim to be successful, that's way too many. That's 7. While Man City has had 1, while Liverpool had 1. And that's why those clubs have been so successful during that period. Arsenal, even Arsenal, 2. You see what I mean? A team like Brighton, 3. You see, even a Spurs you could throw in. Well, Spurs, nah. How many managers they had during that time? 4, but still. You see what I mean? You get the pattern. United, how many they had? About 4, 5. You get the pattern. So Chelsea, they're at the bottom of the pile, basically. Disarray, chaos. And now Joao Felix coming in. Is he going to actually improve things? And to touch on the whole Enzo Fernandez thing, Chelsea agreed personal terms with the player. Benfica said they wanted 127 million euros. And Chelsea went and offered them 85 million. Maybe, what if Enzo Fernandez was that player to change things at Chelsea? What if he was the key? What if he was the catalyst? What if he was their savior and they let him slip? Are they going to go back in for him in the summer? It's left to be seen. It's really left to be seen. But this is some ridiculous spending, guys. Ridiculous spending. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I don't know how more people are not talking about this. But Chelsea, the players that they've signed and the money they've spent, it is simply ridiculous, man. And it seems like it's just, okay, you got a lot of money. It's like basically giving a rapper a big budget. And he just goes out there and buys a lot of bling. Earrings and chains, necklace, you know what I mean? Cuban links, nice watches, nice cars, and puts out the album, and the album flops. You know what I mean? And then he's in the hole. He's in the hole, basically. That's Chelsea for you right there. That is Chelsea for you right there. But guys, I just gotta laugh, man. I really gotta laugh because it's funny. Let's take a look at their schedule and then let's move on, man. So they do have Fulham, tough game. Palace, another London derby. Fulham again coming up, but they have that game against Liverpool right there, right? So this is a nice little stretch where Chelsea could actually pull things back. They're capable. They're capable. I'm not saying they're not capable. They could beat these teams, all of them, even Liverpool, but it's going to be tough at Anfield, right? So maybe you could chalk that one off as a loss. The big games coming up in the Champions League. I think they got a nice draw with Dortmund, but Dortmund being as mercurial as they are, you never know what's going to happen. And if you look at the other fixtures here, the West Ham game, Southampton, these games are winnable. The toughest games are these games. Well, we might be thinking that the toughest games are the games against Dortmund and Liverpool and Tottenham, while the tougher games might be the Southampton and the Fulham games. You see what I mean? These might be the tougher games. But if you look at the schedule, this Chelsea, they could pull their act together. They could really get things back on track and they could start climbing up the table. It's not, impossible. The fixtures are not like you already got a Man City game out of the way. I think there's one more to come. When is that game? When is that game? That game's probably, that one of the last games. So, tough end to the season there against City and Newcastle, teams that you haven't beat yet this season. But it's not over for Chelsea. They could pull things back. Joao Felix, are we going to see any more movement? Aubameyang has been linked with a move to maybe Atletico Madrid too, or some other club. So Aubameyang's Chelsea career might be very short-lived. But it's left to be seen. And this is going to be a burning topic going forward. Indeed. So big up to everybody in the house, man. Appreciate you guys coming through. Dane Richards, Marcel said Chelsea not even going to finish top 6. King Huddle, you got Dane saying Felix would cook at Arsenal. I think Felix would have done a lot better at Arsenal. I think that would have been a better signing if he had joined Arsenal. I think he would have been given the opportunities and he would have been allowed to integrate smoothly. But for Chelsea, he might definitely just have to hit the ground running. Or people are gonna be like, oh man, look at this. Why? You know, it's tough. The Premier League is not a place you could just come and just hit the ground and move. Not every player could pull it off. I think if I want to say out of 10, 3 out of 10 players are just gonna sign to a Premier League club and hit the ground running, in my opinion. So, guys, that's my quick analysis of Chelsea in free fall. I'm staying true to the title. And in terms of the Premier League, guys, you know, we got to talk about Liverpool right now. Let's talk about Liverpool, right? And before we do talk about Liverpool, let's take a look at the FA Cup. Let's take a look at the FA Cup fixtures really quick. I haven't done that. And when we get to the Liverpool game, we go into Liverpool and talk a little bit about them. Not a whole lot. But let's just run through these FA Cup results real quick. I know there's a lot, but we have to run through the FA Cup results. Man United 3, Everton 1. Let's just click on this game. Anthony, 4th minute. Connor Cody, 14th. I was like, okay, Everton's back. But Connor Cody with an own goal and Marcus Rashford with a late penalty to give Man United a 3-1 win. To talk about Everton, man, Frank Lampard, he's under a lot of pressure. And he might be the next manager sacked in the league, but it's left to be seen. So Man United are through to the 4th round. So it was a 4th round draw as well. We're going to get to that. And we just go back. Preston 3, Huddersfield 1. Reading 2, Watford 0. Tottenham 1, Portsmouth 0. Harry Kane with a goal in the 50th minute. We go down. Leicester 1, Gillingham 0. He had Kelechi Iheanacho, 56th minute. Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 2. I did actually tune into this game, though. But I think I tuned in and then tuned out. Fell asleep, something. But Hudson Edward, 14th minute. James Ward-Prowse, 37th minute. Scored from a free kick again. And Adam Armstrong with the winning goal. About time he actually did something for Southampton. Southampton through to the next round under Nathan Jones. Fulham 2, Hull City 0. This game live in Kozawa and Dan James, not your usual scorers, but Fulham through to the 4th round. Brighton 5, Middlesbrough 1. In this game, Pascal Gross, 8th minute. Chuba Akpom, he's been on fire, 13th minute. But Adam Lallana, 29th. And the World Cup winner, Alexis McAllister, back in the team, 58th minute, 80th minute. I don't know why he's not being real. Well, he's probably being linked to other clubs, but someone got to pick up Alexis McAllister. This guy, look, and to just mention, we're going to get to Liverpool, right? This is a player. This is an ideal player for Liverpool. Alexis McAllister could slot into Liverpool's midfield, offer goals, offer creativity. And that's what Liverpool needs, not Thiago Alcantara. You take Thiago out of Liverpool and put Alexis McAllister in the team, and you're going to be like, God damn, why did they wait so long to do something like that? Trust me when I tell you, you don't need Thiago. You don't need him. You don't need him. You need a player like McAllister in your midfield. You need to get rid of Thiago, bring in a McAllister, or bring in a player like James Maddison, or a player of similar ilk. Get rid of Thiago. Get rid of Thiago. And it's maybe most people won't agree, but it's time that players like Jordan Henderson and James Milner move on. You see what I mean? It's time. They're not holding up. They're getting injured a lot. Maybe you keep them around the team, but they shouldn't be starters. Liverpool got a player by the name of Fabio Carvalho. I think he should have been getting way more opportunities, but Klopp's kind of scared to throw him out there in the deep end. Last time we saw him against City, he kind of struggled and he was taking out the firing order. While on the other end, we see a player like Rico Lewis. Pep's throwing him out there. Like, Rico, go out there. Swim with the sharks. It's just levels. That's all I'm going to say. Just levels. You bring a player to your team, you got to trust him. Even if you see him struggling, you can't take him out every time he's struggling. He has to learn to recover during a game. That's how you grow balls. That's how you become adaptable. When tough situations come up during the games, you say, okay, nah, boy, this situation is kind of tough. I need to rethink. I need to do something a bit different. Not pull him. You see what I'm saying? Let him stay out there and face the heat a little. Yeah, if it's getting a little outrageous, you pull him, but you sign him for a reason. And he's a good player. Maybe Liverpool got the players at the club, but not using them right, maybe, because you keep pushing a player like Thiago. Just saying. I'm just saying, man. We look at the Naby Keita situation as well. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Dennis Undav with the goal. Nice to see him getting some game time and scoring there for Brighton. He was at Union Saint-Gilloise last season. Him and Mitoma. And those were two players that really helped that Belgian club do well and got into European football. So big win there for Brighton. Fleetwood 2, QPR 1, Ipswich 4, Rotherham 1, Bournemouth 2, Burnley 4. Give it up to Burnley, man. Give it up to Burnley. Look at these signings that they made. Manuel Benson. What a signing. He's a Belgian. And I never heard of this player before he signed for Burnley. And if he continues to play like this, Manuel Benson won't be a Burnley player for a very long time. He's nice. So Ryan Christie in the 12th minute. Dominic Anas Zurori is another player. I think he's Moroccan. He's another very good player. So Benson and Zurori with braces. Dominic Solanke with a goal as Burnley rump to a 4-2 win over Bournemouth. This is not the Burnley of old, man. This is a new Burnley, and they're looking good. You check the lineup here for Burnley. You got a few old faces like Ashley Barnes and, Johan Goodmanson, Josh Brownhill, pretty new player to the team, and Connor Roberts. You got some decent players. So what Vincent Kompany did, he brought in players of his own, few on loan, guys like Taylor Howard-Bellis, but he kept guys like Connor Roberts, Josh Brownhill, Charlie Taylor there. Some of these guys are going to be phased out. Maybe Charlie Taylor will be phased out eventually, but if you look, this is a Vincent Kompany team, and they're doing well. He's hit the ground running in the championship. Jack Cork is actually going to go into the is it Jack Cox that's moving to the MLS, I think. It might be him. No, it's Westwood. Ashley Westwood is going to MLS club. Jack Cork is still at the club. But look at guys like Egan Riley, Nathan Teller. All these guys came in on loan. Chernilov. These guys were not at Burnley before. You see what I mean? Devasoglu, Muric, the former City goalkeeper. You know what I mean? Samuel Bastian. So Burnley, they've received a whole overhaul, and they're doing very, very well. Blackpool 1, Forest 4. Oh, man, that was an upset as Forest fielded a completely fresh 11. I think they changed their entire team. But I think it's not a bad ploy for them to actually see some other players, get game time for other players, and actually get knocked out of this competition so they can focus on being in the Premier League. They're also still in the Carabao Cup, if I'm not mistaken. So Ekpiteta, Ian Poveda, CJ Hamilton, and Yerry Yates scored. I don't know if Yerry Yates, not Yerry, but Jerry, you know what? The Y made me say Yerry. Jerry Yates and Ryan Yates are related. I don't know. but they scored there for their respective clubs. So Forest out, Blackpool are through. Chesterfield 3, West Brom 3, and that'll be a replay. Chesterfield, they are not even they in the National League, so give it up to they're non-league club. Let's say non-league. Chesterfield are non-league team, and this is what the FA Cup is all about. So there will be a replay between them and West Brom United. West Brom United, West Bromwich Albion. I don't know why the hell I said West Brom United. I always got mixed up with West Brom and West Ham. West Brom United. God damn, that's a new club, right? But Millwall 0, Sheffield United 2. Sheffield's been doing well. Boham Wood 1, Accrington Stanley 1. There'll be a replay there. Shrewsbury 1, Sunderland 2. Brentford 0, West Ham 1. Let's take a look at this. Said Benrahma in the 79th minute. I didn't watch the highlights of this one, but good win for West Ham in this London derby. Did Ivan Toney play? Just taking a look. A lot of changes. Definitely a lot of changes here for Brentford. Christopher Aya is back. Let me see if Ivan Toney is probably still injured. So yeah. But let's keep it moving. Big up everybody in the house. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. Remember, we're going to be talking a bit about Liverpool when we're done. And then we're going to go into talking a bit about the Premier League title race right now as it stands between Arsenal and Man City. We're going to talk La Liga. We're going to talk the Italian League as well. So make sure you stick around. It's going to be a little long live stream tonight, man. I got some rest. I got work in the morning, but I got some rest. I got most things that I wanted to get done already. You know what I mean? And I did spend a lot of time with the wife over the last couple of days, so she's all right. So I haven't spent any time with you guys at all. So here I am at your service. Wrexham, this is a club that you got to keep an eye on. They're actually climbing up the table in terms of the pyramid, the football pyramid. They're non-league team right now, but they're doing well. I think they're top of their league, and they might actually get into League 2 next season. They're owned by Ryan Reynolds, the actor, and someone else. He's like a co-owner. So they beat Coventry 4-3. So big win there for Wrexham. Luton Town and Wigan played to a 1-1 draw. Good result for Wigan, seeing that they're struggling in the championship. Grimsby 1, Burton 0. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Newcastle 1. And this is a big result, right? Josh Winders, 52nd, 65th. Bruno Guimaraes, 69th, but they weren't able to equalize. And Sheffield Wednesday came through with the big win there. And there's been some controversy around this game as well. If you check the news, you could see, let me see. Safety body to review overcrowding reports at FA Cup tie at Hillsborough. And Hillsborough is that famous stadium where 97 Liverpool fans actually died during a match back in the 80s. So, yeah, this one definitely brought back memories for a lot of Liverpool fans there. And, you got to be very careful there. Why are Sheffield Wednesday still silent over fan crush horror? So something happened. Something actually happened, it seems. Let's click a look at this and see what this is all about. As more Newcastle fans describe the terrifying scenes in the Leppins Lane and at Hillsborough on Saturday, while Sheffield Wednesday is still silent over crush horror. So let me see what actually happened here. Let's see what actually happened. Newcastle fans have warned Sheffield Wednesday that they risk supporters suffering serious injury unless they improve safety in the away end at Hillsborough. Yet the League One club have remained silent. There were over 4,500 traveling supporters in the Leppins Lane end for Saturday's FA Cup tie, and many have reported severe overcrowding and crushing before the game and at halftime, leaving children in tears and parents scrambling to safety with them. The problems centered on the bar in the concourse and when fans were attempting to enter the seated area through a narrow gangway. Once in the lower tier, they were forced to rip covering from seats that were out of use to alleviate the crowd pressure. So that's what was going on there in the away end. And not good at all. Not good. Very tight. Unsafe. So not going to go too deep into this, but you guys get the gist. Definitely. We're talking FA Cup. We go back. Liverpool 2, Wolves 2. We'll get back to that. We'll get to that game. But Derby 3, Barnsley 0. Bristol City 1, Swansea 1. Replay. Cardiff 2, Leeds 2. Replay. Let's take a look at this. This was a good one because Leeds, staring into the barrel of defeat, came back. Jaden Philogene, 24th minute. Shea Ojo, 31st minute. And in the second half, Rodrigo Moreno, 65th. And Sonny Perkins, youngster off the bench there. Pretty sure he came off the bench. Let's check. Maybe he started. Let's check. Yeah, definitely came off the bench. But very young team put out here by Jesse Marsh, Gelhardt, Nanto, Somerville, Aronson, Greenwood, Jayabi. Very young, right? Definitely a backup team, and they almost lost. So took Sonny Perkins and Rodrigo off the bench. Drame back at the club. I think Drame came back. Was he back and injured? I think he may have came back from loan, and they're planning to keep him. So a lot of youngsters used, and they would have a replay there in the FA Cup. So against Cardiff, who did pick up a red card. Stockport 1, Walsall 2, Hartlepool 0, Stoke City 3, Norwich 0, Blackburn Rovers 1, Aston Villa 1, Stevenage 2. Big upset, man. Stevenage League 2, Aston Villa Premier League. Sanson, 33rd minute. Then Leander Dendonka got sent off in the 85th. And 2 late goals by Stevenage, a penalty in the 88th, and Dean Campbell in the 90th. That must have been wicked scenes in Villa Park as Stevenage, League 2, run to a 2-1 victory. That's nuts, man. We take a look at the lineups here. Leon Bailey again. Oh, man, after his disappointment in the last game. This is absolutely shocking, unacceptable, poor from Aston Villa. Coutinho, Bailey, Ings. Man, and you can't beat Stevenage. But that's the beauty of the FA Cup, though. Let's keep it real. That's the FA Cup for you, man, So, good on Stevenage. Definitely. Maybe you'll help them. If we check Stevenage, we check Stevenage, right? Let's double check on Stevenage standings. We go, forgot where they at. Stevenage. Let's take a look at Stevenage real quick. Stevenage is a club I used in a FIFA career mode the other day as well. So Stevenage are up there in those promotional spots in League 2. So it's not a fluke. It is not a fluke. And this is one reason why we're taking a look at the lower leagues as well. So when these things happen, we're not really that surprised. So you see 51 points in League 2. They beat Aston Villa. They've been doing well all season. So it's not a surprise, guys. Definitely not a surprise. So let's just go back to the FA Cup and continue running through these matches. And then we're going to talk about Liverpool, controversial game as well. And we're going to look at what they're doing in the league and what's going to come in terms of Champions League and more, where they're going to finish and all of that good stuff. So where we at? Man City 4, Chelsea 0. We did touch on this. We had Mahrez with a brace, Julian Alvarez, Phil Foden with a goal. No Kevin De Bruyne, no Erling Haaland, no Gundogan, none of that needed. 3 shots, 1 on target for Chelsea. Look at this. Look here. Look at this. Pep only sent out 3 subs. Phillips, Joao Cancelo, and Rico Lewis. Rest Ederson, De Bruyne, Haaland, Gundogan, Ake, Stones. None of that needed. It's sad. It was too easy. Way too easy. But I love it. Absolutely love it. And look, man, the way Man City are looking right now, the deep squad. Guys, this could be a trouble. A domestic trouble. And we'll get to the Premier League. We get to it. I know Arsenal on top, but City are going for everything. Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Pep's on a mission. Just want to put it out there early. Just want to send some warning shots. Oxford 0, Arsenal 3, man. This game was playing yesterday. And when was it? Yesterday, right? I didn't even care, man. Seriously. Why am I going to waste my time watching this game for? Please. Why? Arsenal were always going to win this game. I'm not going to watch this. I'm going to waste my time and watch Arsenal play Oxford in the FA Cup. Like, come on, man. Better things to do. Mohamed El Neni, 63rd. Eddie Nketiah with a brace. That will do a whole lot of good for his confidence. Arsenal played in that white kit, bringing a lot of players as well. Take a look at the lineups, You had Sambi Lokonga, Vieira, Tomiyasu getting a start, getting Matt Turner, the American in, Rob Holding. These are not regular starters. Guys like Marquinhos came off the bench. They got Emil Smith-Rowe back. And Emil Smith-Rowe would feel like a new signing. He would definitely feel like a new signing. Also, something that Arsenal could do, I think they could look towards their academy. Remember when the going got tough and they looked towards the academy and they brought in Smith-Rowe and they brought Saka through, guys like Nketiah. They could look at the academy for answers. If they actually fail to get any players in, promote the best player from the academy. Promote the best player who's scoring a lot of goals for the youth teams and bring him up in the first team. Blood on the youngster. See what I mean? That's another way. So, guys, we do have one FA Cup match in the third round to play. And that's scheduled for January 17th between Forest Green and Birmingham. That game was rescheduled because of a waterlogged playing field. So that's what the third round looks like. There'll be some replays. West Brom will play Chesterfield. Swansea would play Bristol City. Accrington Stanley play Boreham Wood. Leeds play Cardiff. And Liverpool would play Wolves. And we go back to this very controversial game. Gonzalo Guedes in the 26th minute, man. Listen. I don't know, man. I really don't know what's going on with Liverpool at all, man. Seriously. I was watching and listening to this game. So I didn't watch the whole game. I watched most of it, but I had like the phone in my pocket because I was at work and I was like traveling home and things like that. So, riding my scooter and all of that. So I didn't like watch the whole thing. So Guedes, 26th minute. Alisson Becker. Thiago. Let's talk about Thiago. You see, dwelled on the ball a bit too long. Could have got rid of the ball. Chose not to get rid of the ball. Tried to dribble. Yeah, no, quadruple, right? Quadruple talk. But tried to dribble. Lost the ball. Won the ball back. Straight back to Alisson, and then Alisson with the boo-boo, kicking it straight into Guedes, right? It was a whole mess. I'm not going to act like I remember every detail from this match, but this was a mess of a performance by Liverpool. Mess. Darwin Núñez got his goal. It's a good goal, but it was Wolves' mistake. Nathan Collins just wildly kicking that ball in the air, basically passing the ball to Trent Alexander-Arnold, but it was a good execution to get that ball down to Darwin Núñez. Great finish. But the goalkeeper could be criticized as well. Came off his line way too early, and I think if he had stayed back, it would have been an easier save. But not to discredit Núñez, he needed that goal, and he got that goal. Salah put Liverpool ahead, 52nd minute. I think the phone was in my pocket when that goal scored, but I was listening to everything. And I think it was another Wolves mistake that led to that goal. It was a mistake-ridden game. Hwang Hee-chan came off the bench. Lopetegui did his thing, brought some players on, and Hwang scored 66 minutes. And then Wolves scored another goal, which was given offside. And all the time that was actually happening, guys, the phone was in my pocket. I couldn't look at it because I was like busy. So I only could just listen to the game. I couldn't really watch the game. but I was just listening to everything going on, and I didn't really get to like look into it too much. But from what I've heard from Liverpool fans, they said they got off the hook with that one. Let's check the news and see. Yeah, you see, we'll send unseen footage to Howard Webb after Liverpool VAR controversy. Liverpool might be forced to review Diego Jota demands as injury return date draws near. All right, okay. But look, yeah, man, this right here, the Mirror. Let's take a look at this article right here quickly, right? So, Wolves have written to referees chief Howard Webb to demand. Oh, there was a claim that they didn't have the right angle for the VAR thing, right? So, boss Julian Lopetegui unhappy Wolves were denied victory in their 2-2 FA Cup draw at Anfield on Saturday. They were forced to settle for a replay due to the lack of camera angles for a VAR call when Totti Gomez scored in the second half. And that's unacceptable, man. I don't care who it happens to, whether it happens to Man City or Liverpool, Arsenal, whoever team it happened to. You should not have angles that you can't see in this day and age of advanced technology. Every angle should be covered. It's ridiculous. Liverpool should have been out of the FA Cup. It is ridiculous. Okay? They should have never been in a replay. Wolves should have won the game. Liverpool should have been out of the FA Cup, and they would have been able to focus on the Champions League and the Premier League. Okay? I'm being completely honest. I ain't holding nothing back. Anyways, it was given offside, but it was proven that it wasn't offside. You see what I'm saying? So the assistant referee flagged for offside in this instance with VAR incapable of overturning it due to the lack of camera angles. That somebody put some money in that official pocket or something, because why would you give an offside if it's not offside? And was that a Liverpool? There were two players behind the goalkeeper there as well. So, man, I don't even know, man. I didn't see the thing. I was listening to the game like it was like back in those days when you listen to games on radio. I didn't know what happened, and I'm going to leave it just there. The replay would happen, I think, on the 17th, and Wolves would then have a chance to redeem themselves again. So let's take a look here at the replays right there. You guys could see Wolves, Liverpool. They will play at Molyneux. And Wolves would have another chance next Tuesday, actually, 2:45 p.m. to go again at Liverpool, at home this time. And for Liverpool, they have another chance. They will count themselves very lucky. So in terms of the fourth round, I'm not done with Liverpool. I'm not done. Sheffield Wednesday will play Fleetwood, Walsall, play Leicester, Blackburn, play one of the teams coming through from the replay. I don't know which one right now. You got to take. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the FA Cup fourth round draw, man. Let's take a look at the fourth round draw and stop playing around and guessing or play guessing games here. FA Cup fourth round draw. Let's take a look at the fourth round draw so we know exactly what's going on here. So fourth round draw, bam, the proper draw. Let me see. Let me click on the FA Cup website. Eat the cookies here. And this is the draw right here, guys. Let's make that bigger. Let's make that big so you could see. The bigger, the better, right? So big up to everybody. So who is the player in the thumbnail? That's Gianluca Vialli. That's that Chelsea striker that passed away, former Chelsea Juventus striker that passed away the other day. Thanks for reminding me. We do have to talk about Gianluca Vialli. All right. So yeah, man. So BS gonna, that fourth round is looking like a killer of an encounter, huh, Dom? Okay. Listen. Preston North End versus Spurs. Southampton Blackpool. Wrexham versus Sheffield United. That's a good one. Ipswich Town versus Burnley. Man United versus Reading. Easy draw. Easy draw for United. Kind. Very kind. Luton Town or Wigan versus Grimsby. That's a good one. I like that one. One of those teams through to the fifth round. I think the fifth round is around a 16, yeah. You got Derby County, West Ham. Stoke Stevenage, I like that one too. Blackburn or Forest Green, Birmingham, I like that one. More of these lower league teams in the next round is better. Better for the competition. Walsall versus Leicester. Sheffield Wednesday versus Fleetwood Town. Manchester City versus Arsenal. I like that one. Arsenal, it's okay. It's all right. Another competition you won't win this season. It's okay. Bristol City or Swansea versus Chesterfield or West Brom. Both these teams, all these teams are in the replay. Brighton versus Liverpool or Wolves. Okay. Should have been Brighton versus Wolves, but okay. Fulham versus Sunderland. And down towards the bottom there, scroll down, we have Boham Wood or Accrington Stanley versus Cardiff or Leeds United. So with that being said, guys, let's talk about them Reds. Okay? Let's go back. Let's talk about them Reds. Let's look at the table right now. We ain't going to be super long, but let's talk about them Reds, them boys in red. Liverpool, 6th position, 17 games played, 28 points. That's 8 wins, 4 draws, and 5 losses. That's absolutely appalling. First half of the season, poor. 6th, not good enough. And when I said not good enough, I mean 16 points behind the team on top the table. Same amount of games played. You could kiss the title. Goodbye. Au revoir. Adios. You could come up with other ways of saying goodbye. Can't think of many others right now. But the title gone. Not happening. And that's a failure. Liverpool season has been a failure. Keep it real. I can't mask it. I really can't mask it. I can't pretty it up. I can't butter it up. I can't, put it under the rug. I can't sugarcoat it. It has been an utter failure of a season for Liverpool FC. You should be somewhere up in this region right here. If they were third with 35 points, that's not what that would have been an okay position to be in. But you're behind Arsenal and Newcastle, Man United and Spurs. Not good enough, man. But all is not lost. Liverpool could have a better second half of the season and they could pull things back. The goal right now would be to get Champions League football. And the other goal would be defend the FA Cup title and win the Champions League. These are the trophies still up for grabs. Champions League and FA Cup. But in terms of the league, see those blue slots? That's where you want to be in. Champions League. You don't want to be playing Europa League. You don't want to be playing Europa Conference League because let me tell you something. If Liverpool are in the Europa League, I might have to do a whole 24-hour live stream talking about that one. A roast session. Just kidding though. But big up Angelo Reyes, Jan, LFC Special. Big up to you. Big up to Antoine Eugene in the house. Big up everybody in here right now. Make sure you guys smash up the thumbs up button for the stream, man. In terms of, as I said, it's been a failure of a season for Liverpool. In terms of the signings, not made enough signings. Let's take a look at the signings this season and how they've done. Let's go Premier League. Let's go down to Liverpool. Let's go down to Liverpool FC. And let's go to the transfers. All transfers. Let's just click on all transfers, right? Liverpool linked to Moises Caicedo. Is that going to happen? Okay. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. You sign Caicedo and you drop Thiago. It's that simple. But I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe Henderson will get dropped. But look, Dama, you're going to cover the Saudi League? Hell no. For what? Because of Ronaldo? Nah. Ronaldo, don't even want to talk about him. For real. I don't even want to talk about him, man. These are the signings Liverpool have made this season. And in my opinion, this is not enough. This ain't enough. This is not enough, right? Darwin Núñez, 80 million. Fabio Carvalho, 5 million. Calvin Ramsey, 4 million. Arthur Melo, 4.5 million loan fee. Waste of money, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Reece Williams out to Blackpool on loan, right? Look at this. Cody Gakpo came in January, right? Fabio Carvalho, he's a youngster. He's not a bad player, but I could see Klopp's faith in Fabio Carvalho kind of waning. He doesn't trust him as much as he did when he just signed, right? So if you really look at this, Liverpool basically made 2 signings this season. 2. Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo. Players who could make an impact. The others, just barely scratching the surface or doing nothing at all. And that's not good enough. And I think that's where the problem lies for Liverpool. Not enough signings. And when you let a player like Sadio Mane go, when you let go Divock Origi, these are impact players. When you let a player like Minamino go, a squad player like Minamino who could come off the bench and do something for you, and then you don't replace them adequately, then you find yourself in a position that you're in, right? And on top of that, when you have injuries to Diego Jota, Luis Diaz, Roberto Firmino, when you have players like Oxlade-Chamberlain breaking down all the time, James Milner, you have Jordan Henderson playing like ass this season, basically. When you have injuries to Fabinho, think about it, and he's not playing well at all. Hot trash this season. And I was telling Ryan yesterday about Salah. Salah's had 17 goals this season. He's not done very badly, but who else is actually putting up their hands and helping Salah? If you had Mane might would have had 13 goals. You see? You see what I'm saying? If you had Jota fit, if you had Luis Diaz fit, these guys would have chipped in. So the problem with Liverpool is their depth. The fact that players are injured and you don't have the adequate depth to actually step into their place and hold up keep the ship sailing until they're fit again. That's what's going on with Liverpool right now. 137 million spent. And if you compare that with their contemporaries like Man City, Chelsea, especially Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, they've all spent more. I don't think Man City spent a lot this year, from my recollection. I really don't think so. Let's just go back really quick. I don't want to talk shit here right now. So let's just go back. Let's just double check and see how much Man City spent this season. Let's just look. Let's just go back. Just for for clarity. City, yeah, around the same. You see? It's the same. But this was just added to what City had already. You see what I mean? You see? And if you look at money made, look at that. Money made, 159. Money spent, 139. How often do you even see that with a Manchester City? You see that? So with players going out, just a quick comparison to see how things are done right. Sterling went, Haaland came, right? You see that? You had Jesus left. I'm just looking at the players, right? Sterling, he's gone. Jesus, Zinchenko, gone. Players that were involved heavily in the team, right? You have Erling Haaland, Akanji, Calvin Phillips, Sergio Gomez, Julian Alvarez, all came in. You see that? Alvarez is heavy in the team. Manuel Akanji plays a lot. Erling Haaland plays a lot. Calvin Phillips is always there for a backup option. He's still integrating. Ortega came in, quality backup goalkeeper. Sergio Gomez, quality young left back as well. You know what I'm saying? So you could see the players that we got rid of is players that made impacts, but we brought in players that's making a bigger impact. You see what I mean? A bigger splash in the ocean, like Erling Haaland for Sterling or Jesus, if you, wherever you want to, where you want to put it. These other things are like City Group things, like Pedro Porro, Itakura, and Moric and these guys, right? Fernandinho left. You have Calvin Phillips coming in to replace him. So you see the movement. You see the movement there. And that's how things are done. Things are done well. But you go back last season, Grealish came in. Not a lot of signings. You see that, right? Not a lot of signings because there was a lot of players there already over the years. The squad has been built over the years. Quality. Still missing Leroy Sané, though. It's one player that we should have never let go, but it's okay. But you see the point I'm trying to make, right? Liverpool did not spend enough money, and this is why they have themselves in this position right about now. And it's even a more dire situation with a Virgil van Dijk going down injured. You see what I mean? So I don't know if things are going to improve for Liverpool or if it's going to get worse. I really don't know. It's a tricky situation. And if we look at the upcoming games for the Reds, let's take a look at the upcoming games. Liverpool needs signings. They have to spend the money. And that's the thing with clubs. Clubs are being cheap. They're being cheap. The money is there. Spend the money. Spend the money if it's there. Liverpool are acting like they don't have any money. That's the crazy thing. They're acting like they don't have any money. The club is bankrupt. The club is poor. They're going through financial problems. That's how they're behaving. That's how the club is actually behaving right now. You got the game against Brighton this weekend. That's going to be a tough game. But it's a winnable game. But when you don't have Van Dijk, you don't know what's going to happen. That's the thing. Wolves in the FA Cup. So I said should have never been playing that game. This is the big game coming up here. The one against Chelsea, the one against Everton too, could be a pivotal one because, you know, it's Everton. Points could be dropped. Wolves, I don't know. I don't know. But the Newcastle game's coming up. The one against Real Madrid. This one against Manchester United. So you got City coming up again. So you got Arsenal. It's going to be a tough period. Liverpool would be hoping to get a Luis Diaz, a Jota, a Van Dijk back as soon as possible. Or else, like Chelsea, they could be in free fall. And I think that's a fair assessment of what's going on with the Reds right about now. Klopp's been spotted in a Yankee hat. Maybe he just liked the Yankee hat, man. It doesn't have anything to do with the Boston Red Sox and whatever. But, when you think about it, he really shouldn't be wearing a Yankee hat. But people are looking into things too much, though. But still, Ian McKenna is saying spending money isn't the issue. It's spending it wisely. But you got to spend the money, though. You got to spend the money. That's the whole thing. Spend the money and spend the money wisely. That is something Manchester City has been doing, and nobody can say that City has not been spending wisely. And when you look at other clubs, that's not the case. That is not the case, man. You see what I mean? That is not the case. So big up to Manchester's Blue, who says it's 5 a.m. in South Africa, big up to you, man, for tuning in, guys. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the stream. We're going down the rabbit hole. We're back live, and I want to do a lot of live streams for 2023, man. And I want to do them like this. I don't want to do no preview show anymore. I don't want to do a prediction show anymore, man. It got a little boring. Forget about previewing the games, man. We're going to just talk about the games in regular fashion, like if we at a rum shop or something, we at a bar. You see what I mean? If we just talking in the street, we're just talk about the games. We ain't gonna go too deep into history and all that stuff. You see what I mean? We're not gonna do none of that. We're gonna go down the rabbit hole. We're gonna have good discussions, like how we be having these discussions today. We're gonna do things a little different. I think I was becoming a little boring. You know what I mean? Very boring and relaxed. You have to admit these things, or else you fail. You fail. You know, but look, guys, Liverpool need a rethink. Klopp's contract runs until when? 2025. Pep's contract runs till 2025 too. But Liverpool they have definitely lost a lot of steam, and they need to pull their act together. Big time. You see what I mean? So we touch on Liverpool, we touch on the fixtures. Guys, before we move on to La Liga and take a look at the Serie A, right? We have to talk Man City, Arsenal. Arsenal on top of the table right now. And I was talking to somebody, and I said to them, the doubt is kicking in. And when the doubt start kicking in, is not a good thing. It is not a good thing at all, man. You see what I mean? If you have to make a jump from one ledge to the next, and you believe you can do it, most likely you would do it. But you see, once that doubt start kicking in, you're gonna hit you're gonna jump, and you're gonna fall right on your nuts. You're gonna try to jump on the ledge, and you're gonna fall right on the nuts. That is exactly what's going on with Arsenal right now. The doubt is beginning to creep in, and they've done really well this season, really well. But if you look at some of their results here, the Newcastle result is a result where I think the doubt started to kick in big time. The Brighton game, since they came back from the World Cup, let's make that assessment. Once the World Cup was over and Arsenal came back, remember West Ham scored first. Arsenal came back, right? They came back. The game against Brighton, oh man, Brighton were better in the second half. A disallowed goal could have made it. It could have been 4-3, and Brighton could have easily equalized, right? So we've seen glimpses of Arsenal waning a bit, the doubt kicking in. And then it did finally kick in with the 0-0 draw against Newcastle. If we go back before the World Cup, let's go back before the World Cup, right? Let's go back. Arsenal doing well. You see that 1-1 draw against Southampton. That was one game where we were like, oh boy, okay. The United loss. That's their only loss this season. 3-1. The crazy thing is, right? Let's scroll forward. Look at the fixtures coming up. The doubt is going to kick in big time. You see this little period right here? January 15, January 22nd, January 28th. Arsenal could lose all 3 games. All of them. All. FA Cup, 2 league games. They might not win any of the games. Or they might go on and win all 3. But whichever results we get is going to really determine the direction of where this Arsenal team is actually heading. I think that's a fair assessment. Jesus, with his injury, has definitely helped that doubt to, kicking a lot. Even though Eddie Nketiah is playing well, I don't think Eddie, I don't know. You see what I mean? That doubt, guys. Imagine Eddie Nketiah against Manchester City. He has to perform. Okay, you're performing against these other clubs. You didn't perform against Newcastle. Okay, you perform against these other clubs. But Arsenal going to show up in the North London derby this Sunday? Are they going to show up? You see what I mean? Are they going to show up for the North London derby? Are they going to get their revenge against Manchester United, the opposite, the next Sunday? That's the thing. These are the questions. And United are playing some good football. They're playing some good football. So Arsenal might not win any of these games. And if they don't win, let's say they lose both these games, then best believe it's an opportunity for Man City to pass Arsenal. And I'm going to say this right now. Man City pass Arsenal, you're not seeing City again. And a lot of teams could attest to this. Top at Christmas, let Man City pass, and then it's bye-bye. It's dust in your face. And this could happen to the Gunners. Fourth round FA Cup. Anything could happen in the cup. But best believe, Arsenal might actually rotate for the cup, which would make them a bit weaker and allow Man City to go on to win. And this is a game at the Etihad as well. City's beatable at the Etihad, but more often than not, they win games at the Etihad. You see? And then you got the game February 15th against Manchester City. This is the game that they have to win. You see what I mean? There's a nice little period here that they'll go through, but they have to get through this period by winning their games as well. And then you got Liverpool down there in April. You got Man City in April again. April is going to be tricky. Early May is going to be tricky too. You got a nice finish. Brighton, Forest, Wolves. But these teams, in terms of Forest and Wolves, could be playing for their survival, which could make things even harder. We go over to City. So Arsenal looking to bolster in the transfer window. They failed to get Joao Felix. They're looking to actually bring in Mikhailo Mudryk. They don't have the money. They're basically reluctant. Not that they don't have the money. They're reluctant to spend the money on Mudryk, where Shakhtar wants close to 100 million. And I don't think they should splash that. I really don't think they should. I think there's other options out there that they could explore, right? But look at Man City, right? You have tomorrow Southampton in the FA Cup, EFL Cup, quarterfinal. We should beat Southampton. Should, but you never know. This weekend, the big Manchester derby. We should beat Manchester United, right? We should, but you never know. But it's tough. Just like Arsenal, we got United and Spurs. Just like Arsenal. So both teams face similar tasks, similar tests, have midweek fixtures as well. Arsenal play Monday, City play Wednesday, but City got less days to rest with their game against United. If Arsenal drop points and Man City drop points, it doesn't matter. But if Arsenal drop points and City win, then you're talking. I could be vice versa, where City drop points and Arsenal pick up more points and stretch that gap. So it's a very tricky period here the next 2 weeks, guys, right? But if you look at City, fourth round FA Cup against Arsenal coming up, Carabao Cup, they're in the Premier League. You know what I mean? You got Spurs, back-to-back games against Spurs right here. You see that? February 15th. You got January 19th. That's basically almost back-to-back, right? You got the Champions League coming up as well, but you got a lot of games before that Champions League affair against Leipzig, though. So it's unrelenting pressure for both clubs, a lot of competitions, but it's which of these teams have the squad to withstand this type of pressure. And it's Manchester City with the quality, could chop and change and still go out there and win football games. While for Arsenal, I don't think they could afford to rest Saka and Odegaard. You see what I mean? And still get desirable results. And if God forbid, one of these players get a long-term injury, oh man, you could kiss the title goodbye. You could kiss it goodbye. But guys, in terms of the Premier League, that's just a quick, roundup of what's going on in terms of the title race there, man. Let's just take a quick look at what's coming up this weekend. Guys, you got Fulham, Chelsea. You got Aston Villa, Leeds, Man United, Manchester City, Wolves, West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Leicester, Brighton, Liverpool. You got Everton, Southampton, Brentford, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Palace, Fulham, Newcastle, and the North London derby between Tottenham and Arsenal. And guys, what's crazy is games are coming back on Wednesday. You got Wednesday, Thursday matches there between City, Spurs. You got Palace United. And that's actually makeup fixtures right there. You see 7th of 38. So those are makeup fixtures. And then you got on the weekend, you got matches coming back as well. So today's Tuesday. I'll be live. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow. Maybe I'll try to go live tomorrow after the Carabao Cup match, according to what's going on. If my boy Liam is sleeping or not, I could only really do anything if he's sleeping. But guys, my wife, she has a new job. She got the new job. She won't be working a lot from the beginning, so I'll have a lot of time to do football content going forward. You know, I'm trying to balance things out a lot in 2023. I want to hit the gym more often. You know, I want to do more live streams. I want to put out more videos. You know, I want to work more in terms of making more money at my W-2. You know what I'm saying? I just want to have a healthy balance of things so that I could stabilize things in my life. You see what I'm saying? Because things are stable, but they could be a little bit better. Let's just put it that way. But once again, big shout outs to everybody in the stream. Appreciate you guys tuning in for yet another one. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button. If you're watching the replay and you're enjoying the stream, big up to you. Thank you very much for tuning in to yet another one. And before we move on to La Liga and the Italian league and touch on some other leagues, guys, let's just take a look at the standings here really quick. Arsenal, City, Newcastle, Man United, Spurs, and Liverpool are in the top 6. And you could see 28 points all the way up to 44 points here. Big gap in terms of the standings there. So Liverpool, United, Newcastle, you know, Spurs, they're still in and about, but it is City and Arsenal really, I think, in this title race, man. For now. But you never know. Things could definitely change because that's the United beat City. That's United up to 38 points. So it could change. It could change really, really fast. But to top off the top 10, to round off the top 10, I should say, you got Fulham, you got Brighton, and Brentford. They're doing really, really well. They're above Chelsea. Aston Villa sacked Steven Gerrard, and Unai Emery came in and he's looked good. Even though they lost that game in the FA Cup there, they're still looking good. 11th, Aston Villa, 12th, Palace, 13th, Leicester, Leeds in 14th, not bad, 17 points. Forest have 17 points as well. And the team's struggling a bit right now. Bournemouth, West Ham just outside the relegation zone. But Everton, Wolves, and Southampton are in the relegation zone. And Everton, they survived the drop last season. But I don't know if they're going to be that lucky this season, though. You know what I mean? I really don't know. I hope they don't get relegated, but it ain't looking good for Everton at all. Richarlison, I think, would have made a big difference at that team. They brought in Mupay. They brought Ellis Sims back from loan. They have Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but they need a goal scorer, man. They need somebody who's ruthless up top. And it's January. You got 20 days. Well, actually 21 days. Got to sign somebody else, man. Got to sign somebody. Got to splash the cash. That could save your Premier League status. Splash the cash. Look over to the French league. Look over to the Italian league. Look over to the Bundesliga and look and identify a striker that you could bring in and say, hey, man, do a swap deal. Something, man. Do something. Because if you don't do something, let's see. If you do nothing, best believe something's going to happen to you. And that's something could be relegation. But what most likely would happen to Everton, Frank Lampard might get sacked They might bring in a new manager, and he might actually just pull things back for Everton and save their season. Who that manager is going to be, man, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I really, really don't know. But they need somebody who could come in and actually be effective. It's crazy that a couple seasons ago when Everton had James Rodriguez at the club, they were actually fourth. And we were thinking, oh man, Everton, Champions League? Real Madrid came calling, and Carlo Ancelotti said, hello? Yes. Yes. By Everton. It's that simple. That is exactly how it happened. So, guys, for the Premier League, Erling Haaland, 21 goals. Harry Kane with 15. Ivan Toney, 12. Alexander Mitrovic, 11. And Rodrigo Moreno. Ooh, Rodrigo with 10 goals. So, give it up to Erling Haaland, though. Ridiculous, man. 21. Guys, there's no Arsenal players in the top 10. Not top 10, the top 5. And there's no Liverpool players in the top 5. And that is a cause for concern, right? For Liverpool. But for Arsenal, them too, they need somebody who's going to put up their hands and score a lot of goals, or else we'll see them drop in the table. Assists. Kevin De Bruyne 9, Saka with 6, Christian Eriksen, Alex Iwobi, who picked up an injury as well, I have to say, in that FA Cup clash. So that's a big miss for them. Andrew Robertson with 5, Bernardo Silva, Dejan Kulusevski, Gabriel Jesus, Perisic, and Martin Odegaard. So it's a quick roundup of the Premier League. Guys, I do have to run through, my Reddit page and go down a rabbit hole a bit there too. So still got maybe another hour in this live stream, man. Still haven't touched on a lot of information I want to talk about. So that's the main thing, man. I want to talk about a lot of things. I want to touch on a lot of things and give you guys a lot of information. And for me, myself, to discover some things that I have not even, bumped into. Look, before we do move on, R.I.P. Pele and R.I.P. Gianluca Vialli. So let's, take a look at Vialli really quick. Acknowledge him. Show him some love, and he passed away. So let's take a look at this right now. Take a look at the news section. And John Terry breaks down in tears at Gianluca Vialli tribute at Chelsea Stamford Bridge. John Terry pays emotional tribute to old boss Gianluca Vialli next to his shrine at Stamford Bridge. Serie A remembers Gianluca Vialli as Sampdoria's tribute rings true. And I saw a couple articles of Vialli when he was manager in Italy. I think that was Sampdoria he was managing. Let's just go back at his wiki page really quick. So Gianluca Vialli, right? Wiki page. He was 58 years old, from Cremona, Italy, and senior career 1980 to 84. He played for Cremonese, it's his local team. 105 appearances, scored 23 goals. Then he moved to Sampdoria, 84 to 92. 223 appearances, 85 goals. Then he moved to Juventus from 92 to 96, 102 appearances, 38 goals. And then he joined Chelsea from 96 to 1999, where he finished his career and actually became the manager of Chelsea Football Club after he left. I think he might have been player manager as well, because he ended his Chelsea career in 99. He was a manager in 98. So he was player manager as well. 58 games for Chelsea, 21 goals. International career from 85 to 92 for the Italian national team, 59 games, 16 goals. So he managed Chelsea from 98 to 2000. Then he managed Watford from 2001 to 2002. And then he was the Italian. He basically wasn't managing. So it was another manager that had cancer in the Italian league the other day. It's not Vialli. I thought it was Vialli. I'm thinking about another guy. But Vialli was an assistant manager there for the Italian team from 2019 to 2022. Oh, okay. Now it's all coming back. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely coming back to me there. Seeing Vialli and Mancini for the Italian team there. So yeah. So in terms of his death, let's just go down to his death. So Vialli, personal life and death here. You see in November 2018, Vialli revealed that he successfully overcame a year-long illness with pancreatic cancer. He was treated at the Royal Madsden Hospital in London. He was given the all clear from pancreatic cancer in the April of 2020, but in December of 2021, it revealed that he had been diagnosed with the disease for a second time. So, came back. Definitely came back. He died on January 6, 2023 in the Royal Madsden Hospital at age 58. So that is crazy, guys. And when it comes to cancer, man, look, my mom died of cancer. So cancer is something, man, that I fucking fear big time, man. I'm telling you, man. Listen, if it's one thing I'm scared of, man, I'm a say this right now, man. If it's one thing I'm scared of, it's cancer and AIDS. I'm telling you, man. I don't think I'm afraid of anything else in this world. Nothing else. But you see, cancer and AIDS, oh man, those things are death sentences, especially cancer. But AIDS is just, you could die other ways, but cancer is not a way I want to go out, man. And AIDS is not a way I want to go out. So it is tough. And I watched my mom died of cancer. So that was pretty hard. I don't want to go out like that. I don't know if I could deal with that, man. A diagnosis like that, I don't know, man. That the diagnosis alone might kill me. Just thinking about it alone might kill me. So give it up to Vialli. Was brave, fought the battle, but didn't win. But his legacy live on amongst Chelsea, Juventus, Sampdoria, Cremonese fans. Would definitely be remembered. He's not a player that I watched because I started watching football like heavily in 1998, and that was towards the end of his career. And I wasn't watching club football; it was international football. So Vialli is not a player I really watched, but his name is a name that I know. I'm not gonna act like I know the player and I watched him and I celebrated his goals or anything, but it's just sad, man. It is really sad. 58 is not old. It is not old. You feel me? I just had a birthday. I turned 36. My mom died when she was 45. 45? How old was my mom? 44, actually. 44, which is crazy when you think about it. So I want to live at least till I'm 80. You know what I'm saying? I want to be around for a very long time. So let's give it up to Vialli. So Thunder Road, bro. I don't know what's going on with you, but I don't know, bro, what's going on with you, but you think these things don't exist? You're crazy. You think these things don't exist? Okay. We think this is 1990? Okay. All right. Okay, Thunder Road. Anyways, West Nile virus, H1N1, swine flu. Yeah, man, there's some terrible diseases out here, man. But yeah. But yeah, just sad when someone passes away, man. Really, really sad. But with that being said, though, let's take a look at the Serie A. Let's run through some Serie A results. I did watch the highlights for the last match day as well, so do have a little context there, but we won't spend super long. We're just running through. We're just keeping tabs on the league, keeping tabs on the title race that's going on over there, you know. So Fiorentina 2, Sassuolo 1. In this game, he had Riccardo Soponora, 48 minute. You had Domenico Berardi in the 57th, and Nico Gonzalez, who I just saw in the news there that, who put it? Leicester are looking to sign Nico Gonzalez. I think he's an Argentinian. So Leicester looking to sign him as he scored a winner there for Fiorentina. You got Juventus 1, Udinese 0. You had Danilo in the 86th minute there. Very good team goal, I have to say, though. Chiesa involved in that one. Very, very good team goal. That ball across the square, across the box. Danilo with the tap in and broke Udinese's heart. So Juventus leaving it for late again. Remember, Milik scored that late free kick there to pick up that victory in the last game. So Juventus are doing it by 1-0 margins, but still they're picking up the victories. Monza 2, Inter 2. This highlight was nuts as well because you had Matteo Darmian, 10th minute, Patrick Correa in the 11th, Lautaro in the 22nd, and a Denzel Dumfries own goal gave Monza a point against the mighty Inter. So you got Salernitana 1, Torino 0, and I have to say it was the Memo Ochoa show in this game where he pulled off some ridiculous saves for Salernitana. So in this game, Antonio Sanabria in the 36th, and a brilliant goal by Tony Villena, the Dutchman, in the 49th from distance. So 1 point apiece for those teams. Spezia 0, Lecce 0. You had Lazio 2, Empoli 2. And this was weird, right? Because watching this game and the commentator, no, it wasn't this one. It wasn't this one. It was the other one, the Roma AC Milan. But this one was another one. Felipe Anderson, 2nd minute. Matteo Zaccagni in the 54th. And then Caputo, brilliant goal, man, in the 83rd minute. And then the Razvan Marin goal, the Romanian put in a freaking worldie in the 93rd. So 2 worldies for Empoli to gain a point against Lazio, who seemingly looked like they had got that one wrapped up. Sampdoria 0, Napoli 2. So you had Victor Osimhen, Thomas Rincon got sent off. Bad tackle there, denying goal scoring opportunity. Ilif Elmas from the penalty spot to give Napoli a well-deserved 2-0 win. So this was the game. Milan 2, AS Roma 2. So Pierre Kalulu, 38th minute. Tommaso Pobega, I think that was his first goal for AC Milan in the league as well. And the commentator was saying, oh, Pobega with the goal to put the final nail in Roma's coffin. I'm like, to put the game to bed. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's only 77 minutes. So Roger Ibanez, he scored in the 87th minute, and Tommy Abraham, after I think that was a rebound, and Abraham smashed it in to gain a point, man. So highlights is pretty nuts, and it was a big result for Roma, but points dropped there by AC Milan in what could be very, very crucial points when come the end of the season. Verona 2, Cremonese 0, and Darko Lazovic with both goals. These are big, big points for Verona as well, who was struggling towards the bottom of the table. So Lazovic coming up clutch with a brace. They would want to continue in that vein of form. Atalanta and Bologna. Bologna 1, Atalanta 2. In this game, Riccardo Orsolini. They started really well. Orsolini with that good goal and a couple more opportunities. But then Tian Minor smashed one from distance. And Rasmus Hjulman, he scored in the 58th minute. He's been in good form, though. And that was a very good signing when he was signed from that... I think he was signed from the Austrian club, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a peach of a signing, man. That's one thing with Atalanta. They make very, very good signings. Their recruitment system is very good. And they make a lot of money from selling on those players like, Castagna and guys like, Robin Gosens. And, the list goes on, man. Kulusevski was an Atalanta player. Malinovsky, you know, who else? Miranchuk, all these guys, you know. So they do good recruitment and they always produce some quality players. They check their lineup, man. If I have to support an Italian team, it will be Atalanta. Because I just like their style of play, man. Zapata, he's always commanding up top. You know, you check their midfield, their Roan, Koop Miners, all Dutch, Pasalic. The team's not as, you know, let's say, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have that dynamism that they had a few seasons ago. Guys like Ilicic, who's now like fatter than I am. Uh, you know, so it's a different team and they blood a lot of new players, but guys like Hatibor, Toloi, Palomino, these guys are still around. These are the core of Atalanta. Right there. They ruined Pasalic, Hatibor, Toloi, Palomino. That's the core right there. They change up a lot of other players, but that's the core. It remains there. You know, you look at their bench. Jeremy Boga, very great signing. He was involved in a goal for Hulman. Lookman's been doing well, you know, since they signed him. Jim City's been around, you know, so Mary Demiral was a good acquisition from Juventus. Davide Zappacosta from Chelsea, you know, so I like this team. I really, really like this team. I gotta, you know, admit that. I like Atalanta. You know, so if I'm rooting for a team in Italy, it will definitely be Atalanta. So coming up this weekend, guys, Friday, you got Napoli Juventus. This one is big. This is big. Might actually tune into this game. Cremonese. I actually did tune into a game, you know. But it was the previous match day. It was the Inter Napoli. I did watch the Inter Napoli. Yeah, did watch this game. But the Napoli Juventus, definitely watchable. Cremonese Monza, Inter Verona, Lecce Milan, Sassuolo Lazio, Torino Spezia, Atalanta Salernitana, Udinese Bologna, Roma Fiorentina is another watchable one, Empoli Sampdoria. The standings right now, Napoli is still on top, 44 points, guys. 7-point gap between them and Juventus, who are now second. So Juventus pass AC Milan, they pass Inter. So Inter, 34 points. So Napoli still poised to go on to win the league, guys. But they just have to keep up that momentum, and that's another big game against Juventus. So if Juventus win, that's only a 4-point gap. So, guys, don't count out Juventus. I know we were talking a lot of shit about Allegri and them not doing well in the Champions League and all, but Juventus could creep back up and win the Serie A. They brought Allegri back for a reason, and that's stability. So Lazio, Atalanta round off the top 6. Then you have Udinese, Roma, Udinese, you know, Mourinho at Roma, so he's always going to be there about the European places. He did win the Europa Conference League, so don't take your eyes off Roma and what Mourinho's doing at that club. Very, very decent. Udinese, Fiorentina, Torino round off the top 10. Bottom half, Lecce, Bologna, Empoli, Salernitana, Monza, Sassuolo, Spezia. And teams that look like they're definitely going to get relegated, Verona, Sampdoria, Cremonese. Cremonese yet to win a game. But don't take your eye off of Verona. Verona could rise up this table. You see, a draw and a win. That's good form. Spezia's form is not bad either, you know, but don't take your eye off Verona because you have a team like Monza, Salernitana. These guys, these teams could cave in. You see what I mean? Verona is a team to watch. Guys, let's keep an eye on Verona and how they do and if they continue to climb up the table. So that's a roundup for the Italian league. The stats, Osimhen leads the goal scoring charts with 10, Lautaro with 8, Enzola with 8, Arnautovic 8, Ademola Lookman, Chiro Immobile, Edin Dzeko, and Rafael Leao with 7. Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, who I see is linked with Arsenal with 7 goals. Gerard De La Fea with 6. Mario Rui with 5. Kostic, Kvaratskhelia, Pellegrini, Barella, Zielinski, Leao, and Roberto Pereira with all 5. So that's what the Serie A looks like, guys. And before we do move on, Let's take a look at Coppa Italia. We had some Coppa Italia games as well. Round of 16. Inter 2, Parma 1. And Buffon is still playing for Parma, which is crazy. I was like, what? I didn't even guys, I forgot. I really forgot. And this is the first time the Coppa Italia is coming back since October 20th. But I forgot that Buffon was still playing. Seriously. He's over 40. And there's a up to starter on Buffon that's been 25 years since he made his Coppa Italia debut. 25 years, guys. So in this game, you had Stanko Juric scored in the 38th minute. So Lautaro took it to extra time and Francesco Acerbi in the 110th minute. So it was almost a big upset here for Parma, but Inter Milan pulled through. So you check the lineup, say, let's check the Parma lineup. You had Buffon in goal. The other players are not really they're not recognizable, but this looks like it's Alexandre Bernabé, the former Man City young Adrian Bernabé. Yep, former Man City youngster. I didn't even know his Parma is where he ended up, right? So he's at Parma. Bernabé had a lot of potential, but sometimes, guys, with a lot of these youngsters, right, they don't have a lot of patience. They don't trust the process. So they want to run away and they want to say, oh, they're not getting enough opportunities and they want to leave and they want to go to another club. And then it turns out to be the worst move. You see what I'm saying? The worst ever move you could actually make is not to trust the process and try to get game time somewhere else. So that's what's going on there with a lot of youngsters who leave, prominent clubs. And Adrian Bernabé was a player that Pep was actually giving a lot of game time to. These guys want to leave. They want to play more. You know what I'm saying? A lot of ambition. But ambition could also kill you. So, remember Franco Vasquez? Who remembers Franco Vasquez? Oh, man, he's ended up at Parma, lower league. You know what I'm saying? So, Bernabé, I don't know a lot of these guys. I really don't know. Check the bench. Let me see. Christian Ansaldi. Definitely. Christian Ansaldi. Yeah. Definitely know this guy. He was just at Torino. Argentinian. Look at this. Played for Argentina 5 times. Yep. He's a big player. Played at Inter as well, Atletico Madrid. Name definitely rings a bell. So they got quality. They almost won. Almost is not enough, but they almost won. Just looking at some names, man. Valentin Mihaila. Familiar names there. But yeah, that's the only game so far in the Coppa Italia. The round of 16. Milan play Torino tomorrow. If you guys want some games to watch. Then on Thursday, Fiorentina play Sampdoria. Roma play Genoa. Genoa is in the lower leagues. They got relegated. Napoli play Cremonese. And Atalanta play Spezia. Lazio Bologna and Juventus Monza all coming up on the 19th. So you have some games this week and you have some games next week as well. So stats, you have Walid Chedera for Bari. The Moroccan. I didn't even realize he was playing for Bari, though. I didn't know that. Good thing I clicked on this. Guys, we had to learn new things, man. But we know Chedera from the World Cup, right? He scored 5 goals. Albert Goodmanson, he scored 3. He plays for Genoa. David Strelec, he has 3. Davide Dia, 3. Luca Siligadi, 3. And Matteo Brunori for Palermo. Give it up to Palermo, man. That's a City Group club these days. So, with that being said, guys, let's take a look at La Liga. Big up to everybody still in here. Shows you guys are interested in, what we got to look at here. Let's take a look at La Liga, man. Let's go. So we got to go back and make sure we cover all bases. And yeah, I did talk about. Did I touch on these games? I did. I did. No, I touched on the December 31st games. There was some Copa del Rey matches. We're going to take a look at the Copa del Rey. I think we touched on the Copa del Rey already. But the January 6th games. We're going to talk about those games and the match day 16 and up. And I did tune into the Villarreal Real Madrid big win for Villarreal. God damn. Villarreal on fire. And they did pick up a victory over Valencia in the local derby as well. So Villarreal is a team. Look. Like I said, Atalanta, Villarreal is a team from La Liga now that I'm liking. I'm not saying this is gonna be my La Liga club or anything, guys. This is not what I'm doing. This is not me. You see what I'm saying? This ain't what I'm doing, man. I'm not gonna pull a Steve right now. Give it up to Steve. Big up to Steve. But I'm not gonna pull a Steve right now. My club is City, but I just like what Villarreal are doing right about now. You know what I mean? So Elche 0, Celta Vigo 1. Elche, I don't think they've won a game yet. They're gonna go down. And Iago Aspas in the 5th minute. Pedro Bigas got sent off. They got to play a sent off as well in their last game. So let's just verify that. Elche did get a player sent off. Yep, against Atletico Madrid. So not working out at all. Valencia 0, Cadiz 1. This is a big result. Back-to-back losses for Valencia. Ruben Alcaraz in the 9th minute. So not very good there for Valencia. Back-to-back losses in the league. Villarreal 2, Real Madrid 1. Big win. Big win. Yeremy Pino, very good goal. Very good team goal. They were threatening a lot during the first half. Came back in the second half, scored. Karim Benzema had a penalty. It was it a penalty? I think that was the player was like punching the ball or something. I think who was that handed the ball? Was that yeah, that was a definite penalty. I think that was Juan Foyt. Vinicius was, adamant about that. That was definitely a penalty. And the Alaba penalty, you got to give it a penalty too. You got to give it a penalty because Alaba, in a way, was trying to stop the ball, and he actually stopped a very, very good play. And the ball hit like his knee and his arm at the same time, the position that he was in. It's a penalty. It is a penalty. And if that wasn't given, that would have been very harsh on Villarreal. Gerard Moreno, who's been missing some big chances, to be honest. He was good in the game, and he stepped up and he scored a very, very good penalty there. And Real Madrid look off the boil, man. Really off the boil. You got to give credit to Villarreal for playing well and picked up a massive win. Quique Setien. Look, this team was a more defensive-based team, pragmatic type team under Unai Emery. They know how to get results under Emery, but under Setien, oh man, very, very attractive. Very attractive style of play. And from what I've learned about Setien is this is his style. He plays very attractive attacking football. And that's what was actually expected at Barcelona, but we all know what happened to Setien at Barcelona. That was when Bayern Munich destroyed Barcelona. Setien was in charge, from what I can recall. And it didn't work out for him at Barcelona, but I think there's less pressure on him at Villarreal. And this is a huge win because it has serious repercussions on the title race. If you go down, you see Real Madrid are now 3 points off Barcelona, who are on top of the table after their win against Atletico Madrid, a game that I also tuned into, but tuned out because I fell asleep, I think. These games are putting me to sleep, man. Seriously. These La Liga games are not as exciting. The Villarreal games have been exciting, but most of the La Liga games are pretty dead. And the commentary in America for these La Liga games are not helping at all. When you have Casey Keller, you know what I mean? They're like, oh my God, it's like melatonin, man. Like, putting me into dreamland. So big win for Villarreal. terms of the standings, let's just go back to them. They've climbed up to 6 to 27 points, 3 wins on the bounce. And those wins against Valencia and Real Madrid, it's massive because if they didn't pick up those wins, they would have probably been about 8th or 9th in the table. So they're putting a lot of pressure on the teams ahead of them. And that's Atletico, who lost, Betis doing well, Sociedad, who's doing very well in the Champions League spots there. But if Villarreal continue in this vein of form, they'll be right up there playing Champions League football pretty soon as well. So, guys, don't forget to smash up the thumbs up button, man. We're talking La Liga. And the Bundesliga is coming back pretty soon. So soon we're gonna add the Bundesliga to our lineup, and we will be touching on Bundesliga a lot. So you see, outshot Real Madrid. Real Madrid had a little bit more possession, but it was just a really, really good performance by Villarreal. Also, something that we got to mention, man. This is the first time. I think this is the first time in about 125 years, if I'm not mistaken with the stat, that Real Madrid fielded at 11 without a single Spanish player starting. Like Carlo Ancelotti, I'm pretty sure you noticed this. You could not have missed this. You're telling me there's not one Spanish player on the bench you could not have started in this match? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I understand why he did it. You know what I mean? Maybe I see why he did it. He wanted to put out the best team. And there's the only Spanish player that's in there that maybe could have started. Maybe you could have put in, you could have played Asensio where Valverde was, and maybe drop Valverde in the midfield and maybe put Modric on the bench or something, come off the, because, but if you have a Modric, you don't want to bench him. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, and it was quite crazy that on his birthday, Eden Hazard, number 7, it was his birthday. It was my birthday as well. And Eden Hazard wasn't even given some birthday minutes. Like, that's messed up, man. That is messed up. So big up to Tapiwa, who says because Carvajal is normally the starter that keeps the record going. Yeah. You're right. It would have been natural, but he was injured. He was on the bench too. But you could have thrown an Asensio in there. You could have even thrown a Lucas Vasquez at right back. Who played at right back in this game? Let's go back here real quick. Right back, you could have played Vasquez, okay, at right back. He would have given you more creativity going forward. And Chouameni could have always, and Cruz could have always dropped in and helped out at right back. So, I think Carlo Ancelotti probably said, man, F this record, whatever. But I like this Villarreal team, though. Danjuma did have a really good chance to make it 3-1 when Real Madrid committed everyone forward and Villarreal had the breakaway, and Danjuma hit it, and it was actually it actually went wide. So I like this team. I really like this team. You look at their bench, they have a lot of depth. You see Pedraza, who's, left back there, Mandy, center back. They brought in a few players as well. I don't know everybody, but I'm learning this team. Arno Danjuma came up from the championship, and he's been doing well. Johan Mojica is a left back as well. He's a Colombian. Trigueros. You look at this team, it's like, damn, I like this team. Alex Baena is a player that's very exciting. He's been playing well. Yeremy Pino, this summer, if Yeremy Pino is still at Villarreal, I'll be surprised. But I like their recruitment. I like their style. And this team, promises a lot. Definitely promises a lot. Alberto Moreno, he's resurrected his career at Villarreal as well. So, yeah, it's a touch on a game that I did watch. But we move. Mallorca 1, Valladolid 0. You had Ardan Prats, late goal to give Mallorca a big win. Espanyol 2, Girona 2. Fellow City Group club there. You had Tony Villa, 32nd minute. Javi Paudo, 51st. Joselu, 76, and Yangel Herrera, the equalizer for the Venezuelan in the 85th minute, man. So point apiece. Almeria 0, Real Sociedad 2. Big up to David Silva, who scored in the 47th minute. Alexander Serlat in the 53rd as the not Villarreal, I'm stuck on them. Real Sociedad doing well. Vallecano 1, Betis 2. You had Ivan Bayu in the 7th minute with an own goal, and Sergio Camello in the 28th minute, and Luis Henrique, young Brazilian, in the 40th minute there. Keep an eye on him. He might be gone in the summer. Sevilla 2, Getafe 1. I did tune into this game, but I tuned right back out. I think I was watching something else. But Acuna in the 36th, Rafa Mir, 80th, Boya, Mayoral in the 87th. So give it up to Sevilla, who was towards the bottom of the table. They started this game in the relegation zone, and they needed that big 3 points indeed. Atletico Madrid 0, Barcelona 1. I was watching this game, guys, but I tuned out. Really. I think I fell asleep, man. I'll be tired sometimes. I'm watching these games, and they put me to sleep. I just want to put it that way. Ousmane Dembele, 22nd minute. He had 2 red cards. Stefan Savic and Ferran Torres getting sent off. I don't know what happened. Seriously, I really don't know. Was it a fight? Was that a fight? That looks like a fight. That looked like a fight happened. But 20 shots, 5 on target for Atletico Madrid, 10 for Barcelona, 2 on target. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I missed anything. I really don't think I missed anything, though. But if you look at Atletico Madrid, Joao Felix played his last game this season. He's moving to Chelsea. Pablo Barrios is a youth player coming through. You know, Griezmann, he's dyed his hair pink. He has, enjoying his football these days. Ronaldo back in at left back. He was, I don't think he played the previous game against Elche, but he's back in the team. Didn't really make a difference. Nahuel Molina back from the World Cup in Argentina. You have Marcos Llorente offer that dynamism there over there on the right side. But it was Barcelona who was without Robert Lewandowski and still came out victorious. So you got to give him a lot of credit, though, for going to Atleti and coming out with the win. Got to give him a lot of credit. I don't think it was a most polished performance, but they are on top of the table. And when you look at this team that's been rebuilt under Xavi, you got to give them utmost credit. Because you look at Pedri. A couple years ago, not many people. I remember when Pedri got transferred. I was like, who the hell is this guy? This kid, Pedri. Okay. All right. What kind of signing is that? But look at him now. Look at Gavi, promoted. Ansu Fati. These guys came to the academy. You know what I mean? So Alejandro Balde, Ronald Arroyo, these guys coming to the academy. But getting Christensen for free. Picking up Kunde from Sevilla. You know, Xavi molded this team. And he had the team in preseason. He knows what he has to do. And they're doing well. If they didn't do well in the Champions League, they could now focus on the league to win the league. That would be a massive achievement if he goes on to win the league ahead of Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, of course, who are always, the front runners to win La Liga. So, look, big setback for Atleti as they look to play more attractive football. They're definitely looking for a man up top because Joao Felix is going to leave. Maybe we'll see Aubameyang go the opposite way, and that'll be helpful for them indeed. But, Diego Simeone, I don't know how much he's going to change up his tactics, but pretty much a one-trick pony, very defensive, very gritty, and a lot of players don't thrive in that kind of environment, though. You look at Thomas Lemar, man, he's being wasted over there. I feel bad for Thomas Lemar, man. He had a good season, I think, when they won the league, but most of the times he's just hit and miss. You got Morata. I forgot about Morata. I forgot about Morata. I really do. You see? I forgot about Morata. Anyways, let's move. Rafinha, Sergio Roberto, Frank Kessié, Marcos Alonso, Ferran Torres off the bench. Let's see what actually happened here, man. What are you guys saying? What happened with the Ferran Torres stuff? Yeah, it was jokes. It was a fight. Big up to Lengan Sweet in the house. Yeah, I have to check that out. I definitely got to check that out. Pedro Porro, much better than Emerson and Dougherty. Yeah, I think Man City might have a buyback clause for Pedro Porro. But we don't really need a Pedro Porro. You have Rico Lewis coming through. You have Jacques Cancelo. You have Kyle Walker. But City might have some type of clause in there where a sell-on clause where it put Sporting sells Pedro Porro, City do get some money. That'll be nice. But I think we don't really need another right back at the club. But I don't think he should go to Spurs. I don't think he should go to Spurs. Spurs is a place you go if you don't really want to win any trophies. Let's just keep it real. If you don't want to win anything, just go to Spurs. Oh my God. I know it's harsh, but this is 2023. I'm coming with the fire. Not holding back nothing. Athletic Club Bilbao and Osasuna play to a 0-0 draw. We won't be getting into that. But this Friday, we got Celta Vigo against Villarreal, Valladolid, Rayo Vallecano. You got Girona playing Sevilla, Osasuna Mallorca, Real Sociedad. We play Athletic Club Bilbao, Getafe versus Espanyol, Almeria, Atletico Madrid, Cadiz versus Elche. So I didn't see Barcelona, Real Madrid. You know why? You know why we didn't see Barcelona nor Real Madrid? Because, guys, they will be participating in the Super Cup. So this is the standings. Barcelona on top, 41 points. Real Madrid, Sociedad, Betis, right? Did we go through this already? Did we go through this? No, we didn't. But top six. You see the top six? Athletic Club, Osasuna, Rayo Vallecano, Mallorca. These clubs are doing well. Those three clubs that round off the top 10, they're doing well. Valencia 11, Girona, Getafe, Almeria, Valladolid, Celta Vigo, Sevilla out the relegation zone. That's, must be good for their fans. And Jorge Sampoli doing the thing, doing the goddamn thing right there. Also on 15 points, Cadiz picked up a big win there in the last game. Espanyol struggling and Elche. So, guys, it's still early times, man. Almeria and Valladolid and these teams are not guaranteed to, to stay up. They're not. But you never know. Celta Vigo, they've been struggling a lot lately. But Elche definitely going down. No wins, but the other two teams that are going down, it's left to be seen. I don't think Sevilla are getting relegated. They have too much quality in their team, even though they need a bit of guidance, and they're like a team. They're like a landfill. Just throw unwanted players over. They just take a lot of unwanted players, in my opinion. Let's take a look at the Sevilla team, and you see exactly what I'm talking about, right? That's their last game against Getafe. They won. Look at their team, right? Look at their team. Fernando, who was at City, right? Let's take a look. Jesus Navas was at City. Rakitic, he left, went to Barcelona, came back. Lamela at Spurs. You see the one I'm talking about with this team? Let's look at the bench, right? You see, Suso was in the Italian league at AC Milan for a while doing nothing. Adnan Januzaj been bouncing around the place. You see what I'm saying, right? Loic Bade came back from a loan spell over at Forest. Now, is this the same Loic Bade? Maybe, yeah, it looks like him. So it's just a team that there's a lot of so-so players in there, but let's see if Jorge Sampoli could get the best out of that team. So to talk about did we have any game in the Copa del Rey? Let's just double check and see. I did touch on the Copa del Rey already, guys. Definitely touch on the Copa del Rey already. So what we're gonna look at really quick is the Super Cup, Spanish Super Cup is gonna be played in Saudi Arabia, where of course La Liga sold the rights to Saudi Arabia, where we'll have the tournament over there. So Tomorrow, guys, Real Madrid versus Valencia, and Thursday, Real Betis versus Barcelona. Predictions: Real Madrid will beat Valencia. And, oh man, I don't think we're going to have El Clasico. I'm going to say Betis beat Barcelona. And we're going to have Real Madrid Betis in the final. I think that's what it's going to be. Real Madrid wins. Or we might just have El Clasico in the final of the Supercopa España. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on this, guys? Drop your predictions for the Supercopa España there. Drop it in the chat. Big up to Ian McKenna, sticking around. Tapiwa M for being here. King Huddle, Jan, everybody who stuck around, man. Guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. We had a pretty good live stream today, I have to say, man. You know what I mean? Good turnout. I'm very pleased with the turnout today. I think this is one of the best turnouts for Ready, Set, Go in a long time. I think you guys may have missed me. Guys, we need 13 more likes to get to 50. So if you haven't yet smashed the thumbs up button, make sure you do so. Let's get the stream up to 50 thumbs up, man. Let's get it to 50 thumbs up. So big up to Tapiwa who said Villarreal will probably beat us again. We got a terrible record at Estadio de la Ceramica. And you see, this is the reason why I started doing this, so that I could have guys like Tapiwa coming in and enjoying the stream. If I was talking about the Premier League, I don't know if you would have actually, been in here. So we want to just freshen things up, attract more people to the stream. We've been live for almost 3 hours. Nah, that's ridiculous, man. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is nuts. That is nuts. Can't believe. I can't believe. Guys, I got to go live again tomorrow. Because I have a lot to catch up on in terms of my a lot of my stories on Reddit, right? So what I'm going to do when I'm at work tomorrow, I'm actually going to pull up my Reddit page and talk about a lot of the articles that I have saved. But just to land the plane, it's late right now. I got to go wind down for the night. I got work in the morning. Let's go to my Reddit page really quick. And let's go to some of the articles that I saved. I actually downvoted the articles so that I could save them. But these are just some of the articles that I was interested in over the last couple days, a week or so, and I didn't actually get to talk about. Okay, so just to run through these so that I'm not like way behind or anything, and then I'll save some more that when we go live, most likely maybe tomorrow or the day after. I might take a break tomorrow. Let's see. It's according to how I feel, right? So Erik ten Hag has taken charge of United's reserve team in a bid to open up a better pathway to his senior side. Ten Hag works closely with under-23 boss Mark Dempsey, but takes the ultimate decisions on the team. This is 10 days ago. I think I spoke about this. I think I talked about that one already. So it's been a while. It's been a while since I've actually touched on these things. So let's actually go back and let's get rid of that. But that's a good I have to say that's a good ploy by Ten Hag for funneling youth players up to the first team, because you don't want to just have your youth team and not having players come through. It would be like a waste of time. You see what I mean? That's what the club is for. You don't do like what I do in career mode. I don't use my youth academy in career mode at all. You see what I'm saying? I just go out and spend ridiculous amount of money on players. But you would want to use your youth team. Look at City, Phil Foden. You look at Cole Palmer. You look at Rico Lewis. You see what I'm saying? But you don't have many youth players coming through and becoming, legendary players a lot these days. You look at Arsenal with Saka and Nketiah, you know what I mean? So, like, United, they want to have more players like Garnacho. You see what I mean? Coming through and like Rashford. Rashford is one of the latest ones that has really come to the academy and been a first-team player for a long time. But you look around the team, it's just money, big money being spent, right? Not a lot of players with that DNA embedded in them. So Norwich City are preparing to hold talks with ex-Huddersfield Town boss David Wagner becoming the next manager. That has been, completed already, guys. Mbappe ends the calendar year of 2022 as a top goal scorer with 56 goals in 56 games. Give it up to Kylian Mbappe. Newcastle have recalled Martin Dubravka from his loan spell at United. We know that already. And Milan have made a 15 million offer for 18-year-old Angelo Gabriel from Santos. No agreement yet. Clubs are continuing to negotiate. I don't know if that one was completed yet, but we will get more things up to date. So Dani Alves under investigation over possible sexual assault. Wow. You don't want to be investigated for anything to do with that. Joao Ferreira close to signing for Watford. So these are just some of the things that I saved, and I'll give you some more update pretty soon. So Opta Premier League Team of the Year. Let's see what Opta came up with here for Premier League Team of the Year. So I'm going to actually, bring this right here. Show this to you guys. Opta Premier League Team of the Year. You guys seeing what I'm seeing right now? This is the Team of the Year picked by Opta. And the team has Alisson in goal. This is already laughable, This is already laughable. But anyways, man, could have done. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This is kind of laughable, But it's a whole year, though. Gabriel, Thiago Silva, Trippier at right back, Robinson at left back. What happened to Joao Cancelo? You know what I mean? Maybe a Trent Alexander-Arnold for his attacking prowess. What happened to these guys, Just saying. Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne for City, Declan Rice. Okay. But I don't know about Rice and Rodri in the same team, you know what I mean? But still, okay. Okay, whatever. Madison. What about Rodri, De Bruyne, Madison? Drop Rice. Rice ain't do a goddamn thing. Kane, Son. What about maybe a Phil Foden? You see what I'm saying? What about a Mo Salah? You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. What kind of shit team is this? Just keep it real. Let's just keep it real, man. Haaland just came in. You're not going to put him in half a year. But it's a shit team. Keep it real. Keep it moving. So let's go back to our thing right here. Let's just go back. Let's, Team of the Year, crap. So Chelsea have completed the sign of Andre Santos. Yeah, man, he's going to go out on loan. If he stays at Chelsea and becomes like a first-team player and an impactful player, I'll be surprised. Juventus see Grimaldo as priority in the summer. Player ends contract with Benfica this summer and is free to sign with any club. So look out for Alejandro Grimaldo, who's a peach of a left back. Very creative player, man. Fabrizio Romano, Benfica actively working to sign Norwegian gem Andreas Skjelderup, as they will try to anticipate English clubs. Benfica talks ongoing with Nordsjælland. Deal is in the process, but not fully yet agreed. Contract offered until 2028. We have to do, I have to go live again tomorrow, I think. Got to go live tomorrow. I have to talk about some transfers. Just get an update of the transfers that have been done already for the first 10 days. Iran arrests footballers in raid at party. Okay. Not even going to look into that. Luka Modric turns down lucrative offers to stay at Real Madrid. Ah, man, he's timeless. Give it up to Luka Modric. You need more of those legendary classical players in the game. Erling Haaland mocking Ben Godfrey. That was actually very, very funny, though. This was very funny. Let's take a look at this, man. This was one of the funniest things I've seen in a very long time. Look at this. Oh, man. Listen, Haaland, bro. I know you're young. You're young. I know that's why you're doing that. So Haaland is saying, like if somebody say, hey, somebody come up to me and say, so, hey, Dom, let me see, for example, what I'm gonna say. Hey, Dom, why you always wearing hats in your videos? See, hey, Dom, why you always wearing hats in your videos? So I'd be like, hey, why you always looking stupid in your videos? Like some childish stuff. Oh my God. Like, look, man. Look, funny stuff, man. Entertainment. And it was upvoted over 20 times, man. It went viral. It went viral. So but look, man, we didn't win the game, so we drew that game. It's 1-1. So, last remaining undefeated top division team in Europe this season across all competition is Luxembourg's Swift Hesperange, whose most recent defeat came exactly 8 months ago. So, that is absolutely nuts. So, let's take a look at a club called Swift, right? Swift. And this is why I like these rabbit hole things, right? Swiss Hesperange. FC Swiss Hesperange. Let's take a look at them. So they're playing in a Luxembourg league. Let's take a look at the Luxembourg league, which is Luxembourg National Division. Let's go. Damn, they don't even have a Google page right now. They don't even have a Google page. So you got to go to Soccer 24 to find out what's going on with them, right? And the standings right now is Hesperange are still unbeaten, while Dudelange, who actually made it to the Europa Conference League, which is nuts. Dudelange is a club from the Luxembourg League who are actually, I think they have a funnel into the Swiss League, something like that. But they're actually in this league, and they made it to the Europa League, if I'm not mistaken. It's nuts. I think Dudelange was in that league, in the Euro Conference League this season, if I'm not mistaken. But Hesperange, they're unbeaten, whereas Benfica, PSG, Napoli, all these teams have lost. Arsenal. So Dudelange. Let me see. I think that was last season. If I'm not mistaken. The club that was in the Conference League, Europa Conference League, it was not Dudelange this season. Damn, where's all the Google stuff, man? It's all the Google stuff, but the groups. Let's just. I'm going down a rabbit hole right now because I just want to actually, remember the club I'm actually thinking about. Can't remember the club I'm thinking about right now, man. But damn, not Djurgården. Damn, which club am I thinking about right now? Man, I can't even remember. So to be honest, is it the Europa League? It might be the Europa League, It might be the Europa League I'm thinking about. Let me check the Europa League real quick. It might be the club I'm thinking about that's playing in the second division or something. Might be the Europa League. Let me just click. Let me see. I just can't remember. If Steve was here, he'll remember. Yeah, I can't remember, man. I really can't remember. So let's just go back to the Reddit page and run through these things. But, Swift, that club in Luxembourg, the only team unbeaten in those European leagues right now. So we move. Cesar Peixoto has accepted to become the manager of Pacos Ferreira once again. He was fired from them just 2 months ago. Wow. Imagine that, right? He must be in a desperate position. Juan Martin Lucero is leaving Colo-Colo, and his destination will be Fortaleza. Colo-Colo is suing the player and the Brazilian club as it claims that the $1 million release clause for the player is only applicable as of 2024. So some drama going on there. So Cameroon under 17 team, 21 out of 30 players selected. 21 out of 30 selected players disqualified for age fraud. Wow, they do that a lot in Africa and the Middle East. I gotta be real. Player, you ever see like a 17-year-old person from the Middle East, from Afghanistan? You look at Afghanistan players, man. You say, "What? You're 21? You look like you could be my freaking father." So yeah. Oh, talk about Pochettino. Could he be the next manager of Everton? I don't know if he'll take on that task though. So Gareth Bale's family caught up in armed raid with robbers branding shotgun. Wow. And Gareth Bale has now actually retired from international football. We'll talk about that some more going forward. I think he retired. Did he retire from all football? Yeah, I think so. So Juninho Pernambucano said on Chelsea's new signing Andre Santos, he said, I've never seen a player at 18 as ready as he is. He said in July. Physically, he's a beast. Technically, he's on a high level. He's not going to be better than me. He's going to be much better than me. I don't know about that, though. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Juninho, that's cap because you were damn good in terms of those free kicks and everything. I don't know. Kevin Schlotterbeck goes out on loan to Bochum until the end of the season from Freiburg. Dan Lovren signs for Lyon again until 2025. So give it up for Dan Lovren leaving Zenit in Russia and moving to the French league where he signed for Lyon. So Brighton Hove Albion welcoming back our World Cup winner, and that's Alexis McAllister. The Italian national team has changed their logos. So give it up to the Italian national team. Give it up to the Italian national team for winning the Euros and then not making the World Cup. Let's just say that. But they do have a new logo. Let's take a look at the logo, guys. And you see, I do have something. I actually have something better. So we're going to leave that one alone. I have something better where there's a progression of all the logos that was actually changed lately. So KV Usten loans Pierre Duomo with an option to buy. Man, I picked this player up in career mode, man. He becomes a beast. So Pierre Duomo. Joao Felix is more than likely to stay and leave. Well, we already know that Joao Felix is going to Chelsea. And I actually do think he's going to flop at Chelsea, just like he flopped at Atletico Madrid. So let's keep it real. We're not going to linger too much on that. So Sampdoria announces signing of defender Bram Nuitink from Udinese. So let's see if he's going to help Sampdoria. So exclusive, guys. Emmanuel Dennis facing Nottingham Forest axe after 5 months after £15 million move from Watford. Nottingham Forest looking to offload Dennis to a club abroad to make room in the 25-man squad. So has not worked out, but I think Dennis has played in Forest's last FA Cup game, if I'm not mistaken, where they lost. So it's left to be seen what happens to Emmanuel Dennis, who looked very promising last season for Watford. But if we look back at his record in the last few years, he's only scored a handful of goals, which about 2 goals. And last season was an anomaly for him. So maybe it was a panic buy and they're looking to just cut their losses with Emmanuel Dennis. So Villarreal have rejected an offer by Ajax for goalkeeper Geronimo Rui, but we know that's not true. Rui is already signed for Ajax. So this is how much I've been behind on actually sharing these things with you guys. But, you know, I just wanted to touch on, you know, just to touch on these things a bit. So Michael Carrick doing pretty well in the championship with Middlesbrough. Pretty decent, you know. So Carrick has won 22 points in his first 10 games in charge of Middlesbrough. The most by a Middlesbrough manager since Brian Robson in 94-23. Maestro. So give it up for Carrick. So after 2 operations and chemotherapy, Sebastian Haller returned to Borussia Dortmund teammates on Monday for the first time since his testicular cancer diagnosis. Ah, man, this cancer thing again, man, I'm telling you, scary, man. Scary. So all the best to Sebastian Haller, man. Just sad. Hope he pulls through. So Hoffenheim have signed Kasper Dolberg from Ligue 1 side Nice until the end of the season. There's also been news that Nice sacked what's his name? Lucien Favre. So I'll talk about that some more in the next episode. But just landing the plane right now. 3 hours went by pretty damn fast, man. So Roberto Torres leaves Osasuna after 18 years at the club. So give it up to Roberto Torres. Not a player I do know, and I should know him, but I have been ignoring La Liga for quite some time. So Sam Wallace and John Percy saying exclusive. Liverpool returned to deal for £44 million Wolves midfielder Mateus Nunes. And I think this would be the biggest mistake Liverpool could make if they spend their money on Nunes, who's been proven that he has not adapted well to the Premier League. Peñarol signed Abel Hernandez, Uruguayan, who played for Hull City in the past. So Atletico Paranaense signed Luciano Arriagada, 20-year-old striker from Colo Colo. Revelation of Chilean football, will wear our jersey number 32. So look out for a player by the name of Luciano Arriagada, who could be the future for Chile if they are to return to the World Cup. So look, just to land the plane right here, guys. Let me see what else I have. Let me see. I have a lot of things that I saved, man, but never got to share with you guys. A lot of things, man. It goes all the way down here. A lot of things, man, So look, we could let me see what else I could share. Let me see. A lot of things, man. I don't know. I saved a lot of things. A lot of things. You see? A lot of things. I don't even need to share these things no more because you guys are already like, up to date with most of these things. But what I want to actually touch on, though, I will get to some of these things eventually. But maybe we'll touch on some of these things tomorrow again. But let me refresh this. But what I want to get at, what I want to just land the plane with is the Italian logo, right? So we know Jan Sommer is not going to Bayern Munich anymore. He's not going. And Charlotte FC signed defensive midfielder Ashley Westwood from Burnley. The deal's done. So give it up to Ashley Westwood, 32. He did his thing at Burnley, and he's going to go and make some money in the MLS. So give it up to him. Fluminense signed Giovanni from Ajax. Give it up to, something that you guys don't even care about. Cremonese announced signing of Alex Ferrari on loan from Sampdoria. Yeah, Wigan have now lost each of their last 3 games by a 4-1 scoreline. Colo Torre is yet to win a game as Wigan boss and currently has a record of 0 wins, 1 draw, 4 losses. And he's scored 5 goals and conceded 15. So not a very good start by the Ivorian in charge of Wigan Athletic. You know what the thing is? Here's the thing, right? Oh, you know what? They're not giving enough black managers opportunities. And then when a black manager gets the opportunity, you go and you fucking up. Anyways, let's keep it moving. So Chicago Fire finalizing the signing of right back Arna Suke from Montpellier. Agreement reached on a contract through 2025. Suke, 30, has 148 appearances in the French top league with Montpellier and Nice. Give it up to Chicago Fire, who's managed by the St. Vincent's very own Ezra Hendrickson. That's if he's still in charge, right? Is he still in charge? Give it up to Ezra Hendrickson. Anyways, that's my boy, man, Ezra. So 12 players have been sent off in the last 15 Montpellier games in Ligue 1. Did we touch on Ligue 1? I don't think there was any Ligue 1 games since we last went live. Let's just double check because I don't want to miss anything, man. I think there was actually the League Cup. I think there was a League Cup over there in France. Yeah, we'll talk the French Cup whenever we talk French League again, where there's games coming up tomorrow in the French League. So just to touch on the French League really quick, guys. Okay, let's do this. There's a lot of things I want to talk about, but we really, really can't talk about everything right now, right? I'll have to be live for 6 hours. Let's just touch on the Italian team, the history of the logo really quick. Let's just look at that because I did talk about that. Let's just take a look at the history of the logo. So this is the logo right there. All right, never mind that. Okay, never mind that. Let me get this image to you. All right, this is the logo right here, guys. These are the logos, 1938. I think this was like one of them controversial logos back in the days, whatever that cross in the thing is, whatever. And then You had, that was a logo like on the Mussolini, I think. And he had the Italian flag there, the colors, 1942, then Italia 1952. The 1974 logo was a bit weird, but okay. 1974 again, it changed. It changed twice in 74. I guess they didn't like it and changed it to that. 1982, not bad. 84, they changed again. Why they keep changing it though? I don't know. But the one in 2000, that was a quality logo, I have to say. That was a quality logo. The one in 2000 with the 3 stars above Italia, the flag colors. Then he had it changed to from the 06 to 3 stars. Then they had a 4th star added. The one in 2017, I like. And now this is the one in 2023. You know, so I think if we want a bigger view of that one, let me just go back and go back again. And yeah. Yeah, forget it. We took a look at that already. Let's just land the plane with the league on fixtures, man. Let's just talk the league on fixtures, and I'll save some more things in that section, and we go down another rabbit hole there. But tomorrow we got Stade Brest play Lille, Clermont Foot play Rennes, Nantes, Lyon, Auxerre, Toulouse, Ajaccio play Reims, PSG play Angers. If you want to watch Messi and them play, they're playing tomorrow, and Mbappe. I think his name are still suspended, maybe. Troyes play Marseille, Strasbourg play Lens, Nice play Montpellier, Lorient play Monaco. All the games will be played tomorrow, which is nuts. Everything tomorrow, man. That's a lot to freaking soak up. So, Ligue 1 action tomorrow. If you want to watch some football, you got Ligue 1, you got Copa, you got Supercopa de España, you got Carabao Cup coming up tomorrow. You know, did I talk about the Carabao? Oh, man, did I talk about the Carabao Cup? I don't even think I touched on the Cup. I touched on the fixtures? But I didn't even look at these, right? Today, we had Carabao Cup. Anthony Rashford, 3-0 against Charlton Athletic. Okay, I didn't even tune into that game, but I did tune into the Newcastle Leicester. I did talk about these. Did I? No, I didn't. Dan Burn in the 60th, Joel Linton in the 72nd, and Newcastle ran to a 2-0 win over Leicester. I watched the first half, but I went to sleep in the second half. I was too tired, man. Forest play Wolves tomorrow, and Southampton take on Manchester City, and these are the last 8 teams left in the competition. So you have United and Charlton, United and Newcastle going through to the semifinals, and we await the winners of the Forest Wolves and Man City Southampton. Guys, most likely it's going to be Manchester City through. I don't know if the Wolves Southampton, I don't know who's going through, but whoever, not Wolves Southampton, Wolves Forest, but whoever it is, it's going to be a great achievement. One of these teams would preferably want to play against Newcastle and not against City or United. But we had a Carabao Cup semifinal between Man City and Manchester United pretty recent, where City smashed up United in the first game and lost the second match, but it was inconsequential. So let's see Man City in the final. Was there a draw? Let me see. Newcastle reached first Carabao Cup semifinal in 47 years. Wow. But was there a draw? When would the draw be made? Let me see. Carabao Cup draw. Carabao Cup semifinal draw. Let me see when that will be done. Is it tomorrow? So let me see. Man United website. Let's take a look at that. Man United in the hat for the Carabao Cup semifinal draw. All right. When is the draw? Okay. So the draw. Oh my God. I don't want to buy anything. So let me see. When is the draw? Wednesday. Okay, the draw is tomorrow, guys. So we're going to find out tomorrow who's going to be in the draw. All right. So 3 hours, 18 minutes. I'm going to call it a day. I think I did good enough today, man. Talked about Chelsea, talked about Liverpool, talked about Arsenal, Man City, touched on the Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, La Liga, Coppa Italia. We touched on the Serie A. We didn't take a look at the other leagues, right? But we got a Bundesliga coming up in a few days, maybe like a week. You know what I mean? What else we got? Next time around, maybe we take a look at the Portuguese league. We take a look at the Eredivisie. We take a look around Europe. We take a look at some transfers as well, and just highlight the hottest things that's going on in football at the moment, man. So talk about Newcastle. Well, I've given Newcastle a lot of praises, and maybe in the next episode we talk some more about Newcastle. They've been doing very, very well. So big up to Tapiwa, who says great stream, always a good vibe. Thanks you very much, man. Yusuf, bro. You see this guy, Yusuf? He has so much potential. He got potential, but he makes a lot of excuses, man. It doesn't make sense, Yusuf, that you're making videos and you're not putting all your efforts in it. You could be such a good creator, but I think you need to, put in a little bit more effort, bro. I know you got school and thing like that, but you go to school, you do your homework, and then you could do some YouTube and put maximum effort into the work. You see what I mean? You don't put in enough effort. But I like you. You know what I mean? So keep doing your thing. Big up to Dupe. Nice, always nice seeing you around, bro. And soon, we're gonna have the gaming channel coming back, bro. It's been a year. It's been a whole year, but it's still there. We built almost 6,000. We grew it up to almost 600 subs. We're gonna come back and we're gonna get it over 1,000 subs this time around. But I'm gonna be having more time with my wife having a different job and getting out a bit earlier and things like that. So I'm gonna bring the gaming channel back, man. Definitely. And to talk about Yusuf, actually, guys, this is how much potential Yusuf does have. This is potential, right? Look at this. This is the potential Yusuf has. And that's what I'm trying to tell Yusuf, right? Look at this.
Easy as you like.
No camera tricks, right? No camera tricks, right, Yusuf? You guys want to see that again?
Easy as you like.
You see that? You see what I'm talking about, guys? You see what I'm talking about? But yeah, big up to Dupe for dropping a $5 super chat. Do appreciate that, man. Do appreciate that. Definitely winning the quad. But let's not hype it up. We at least winning 3 things this season. Big up Ian McKellar for dropping a $2 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you guys. But Yusuf, though, you know what I've been thinking about? I think I'm thinking about doing like an academy. I'm thinking about doing an academy, Yusuf, where I bring in people who want to start their own football YouTube channels, bring them on my show, have like little training sessions, little conferences offline. We don't have to be live. And we talk about ways that you could improve your channel and just have people join. You see what I mean? Probably charge you guys maybe $5 a month. Yeah. If you charge $5 a month, if you have 10 people in the academy, you'll have about 50 people. You see what I'm saying? And $5 is not a lot. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I like to help people, though. I definitely like to help people. And I hate when people have potential and they're lazy. Seriously. They and big up to my boy AD 744. AD got so much potential, but you know what I mean? You got to put more effort into the thumbnails, man. You guys have to put more effort into your thumb. Before I put out this live stream, I sat down and I took my time and I made this thumbnail. Yeah, Ryan is good, bro. Ryan is good. You know what I'm saying? Ryan's doing his thing, man. Ryan's doing better than me these days, and I like that. You see what I'm saying? I like that. But before this live stream, I sat down and I made a thumbnail. You see what I mean? And let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Let me show you guys, right? I made a thumbnail before I went live because it's all about presentation, right? It's all about presentation. You see? We spoke about Vialli. He's on a thumbnail. Pele is going to be on a thumbnail for some time because Pele, immortal, even though he passed away. Got a Joao Felix on the Chelsea. And your boy Dom, the rabbit hole. We went down a big rabbit hole today. Ready, set, go. That's the name of the series. I have to take some more pictures as well and cut them out, listen to some music and cut out some pictures and things like that. But I have a lot of these, right? I have a lot of these and I could recycle them. Like I have this one. Let me find out. I have this one. You know what I'm saying? I have that, so if I want to use that, I could use that. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. There's this. You see, if I don't want to use those, I have this one I could use, and I did the work already. I did the work. So I just have to copy and paste them whenever I need them. You see, there's also this one. So it's all about putting in the work. That's all it is. Putting in the work and having the presentation ready for when you're ready to go live, so that people see you live, your work is well presented, and it gives the stream or the video a chance. Just give yourself a chance. It doesn't make sense to put in all that effort and not give your video a chance, right? It's better you didn't make the video at all if you're not gonna put some effort into the thumbnail or the title, or have a clear plan of what you want to do in the live stream. You see what I'm saying? So I think I might do some training sessions. You guys need training. You guys, some of y'all definitely do some trainings, man. You see what I mean? Y'all need some training. Definitely. Definitely. Definitely need to do some training, man. So I'm gonna put out a post and gather some of y'all, Damn, I do owe my thumbnail credit because you're the one who told me about footy renders. Yep, bro, I'm telling you, you guys could be a lot better, but you need the guidance. You need somebody to tell you exactly what it is. Like, so you need somebody to tell you, nah, bro, that is garbage. You need to throw that out and come again. But look, man, it was fun. Another live stream. It's been a couple of days, but I've been busy with some things. But I had a bit of time. I had about 3 hours and a half, and I shared it with y'all. And right now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get ready for my day tomorrow. I have to get some more rest, but before that, I'll just hang out with the wife a bit, and then go to sleep. When I fall asleep, and get up and go to work, do it all over again. But football is relentless. It never stops. You can't it's hard to keep up. But we're trying. And by talking about La Liga, Serie A, Premier League, lower leagues, Ligue 1, Bundesliga, we're gonna stay in the mix, and we're gonna keep things going. We're gonna keep things flowing. I was getting a bit bored with the Premier League, man. So I had to, do something a little different. I had to refocus. I had to really refocus because it was really tough. It was really tough going in depth in terms of all the 10 Premier League matches, and most people don't care about all 10 games. So for some games, yeah, we just go through the freaking scoreline and keep it moving. Simple, man. So I know, man. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. What are you gonna do? I'm in the house, right? I'm in the house. But guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button if you haven't yet done so. We've done pretty good today. We got to, how many likes did we got today? We actually got 43. Not bad. So make sure you smash the thumbs up button. If you're watching a replay, I hope you actually enjoy the live stream. 3 hours long one for you to digest. And from your boy Dom, thank you for tuning in to yet another one. Guys, I actually had to hook up some speakers to my old laptop because the laptop speakers sound like they got roaches in there. And I hooked up some Bose speakers to them. And we rocking here. We're rocking. Yeah, Dupe. Everything's good for now, man. I hope everything's good on your end. We're rocking. I mean, We're rocking. We're rocking. But guys, from your boy Dom, thanks for tuning in to yet another one. We will be live again pretty soon. Make sure your notifications are on. Make sure you check the channel periodically for new content. And from your boy Dom, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video. Until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. We're doing it big in 2023, baby. Just remember that. Any goals that you have, work on it day by day. Even if it's small steps, baby steps, you're going to get there eventually. All right? But don't give up on your dreams. Just remember that. Peace, guys. Much love, much respect.